Oh, hello, hello. Hey, Lady V, how you doing? I just 8 seconds ago, I found out horrible news. I, I, I just don't notice every detail, and I scheduled this a day from now, 24 hours from now. So even though I delayed it for an hour, I got no notifications, because I put in the wrong date. And golly, that just frustrates me. But Um, anyway, I'll hopefully be able to turn this around. I'm really tired. Boy, yesterday took it out of me. I was really excited to come in here. And I was like, yes, I've got an hour's worth, or not an hour's worth of notifications, but I did it early enough to get notifications. But that was false. So I needed to erase LinkedIn. LinkedIn doesn't let you go more than 15 minutes early. And the other five doesn't care that you go live a whole day before you schedule it. That's bizarre. I think it's bizarre that they let you go live. But anyway, hello everybody. My name is Joe Hart. There's that wonderful light again. I forget what I did 2 nights ago. Somehow I got that light out of the screen. Let me move stuff around here. I did last time. And I think it also helped that I talked to the wall too, because I'm in the restaurant. And about 20 minutes ago, I was going to say, wow, they haven't said anything. And sure as poop, someone just said something. They weren't mean about it, but they said, are you going to spend the night again? So I always go with the honesty approach. So I said, yeah. They're like, do you live around here? No, I'm visiting from Vermont. And are you doing that for a job? And I'm like, no, I'm disabled. I don't have a job, but yeah, I live stream. Oh, so anyway, I don't think it was, we seem to get it connected with each other. Anyway, hello to all the, I didn't really figure out I'm going to have to find another place to stream. Which, I mean, if I find another place to stream, that means I'll have to do day hours, which I want to do day hours. I don't want to do these hours. I don't want to compete with three huge, and I don't mean to use the word compete because I don't like, I'm the school of thought, as you can probably guess. I'm the school of thought of everybody gets participation trophies. I know that's very taboo these days. Everybody wants to be cutthroat and, they don't like the snowflakes, but I like participation. So anyway, so I don't know why I use the word competition, but it's just a quick way to say a whole paragraph's worth of saying, we're at the same time and they have 500 people and I have 20 people. But okay. Shit. Okay, let me look here. Let me get the lighting as best I could. And I like to get people's permission to be in the camera. Welcome everybody. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Thank you, Lady B. Yeah, I'll turn it around. I mean, I hope to turn it around. So, anyway. Hello. I'm Joe Hart, as I've already said. I wanted to thank the live streamers. I really appreciate the live streamers. I really enjoy comments. Comments are usually what keeps me on topic or off topic, whichever way you want to look at it. But they're important to me. I will, on every single stream I have, I will probably want to read every comment, and whether it's a question or not, I'm going to probably address it. And I've enjoyed that. Now, I've done quite a few panels, and we did one last night, which was really cool. And I've shared some things. Hey, there's Nightbot. Please sponsor my Idaho trip. Thank you. And GoFundMe. So I have 4 automatic Nightbots set up. I entered it incorrectly last night, so they worked, but they were posting the wrong stuff. So I think I corrected them, and I think it's every 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 14 minutes, and 15 minutes. So there's going to be a lot of overlap, but we'll see. Has it really been 10 minutes? It has been 10 minutes. Hey, that's early. That's fine. I want it to be early. I wanted to put in 5 minutes, really. So anyway, the things I have queued up, I really only have one thing queued up. I have the Alpha David, the Alpha David. I have that queued up. It's called 19 pages. Your shower is ready. When you print it up, there's this link works. Oh, thank you for testing it out. Thank you so much. Now I added a space to all of them. I think 3 of the 4 worked last night, but I just added a space just so I know they'll, anyway, I hope that adding a space doesn't make it worse. But I'm going to need to get a drink here. So anyway. I have, today was, I think we stopped streaming at 9:40 in the morning, and the sun was up, and I, didn't feel exceptionally well. And then I wanted to sleep, and people were looking at me strangely. So I slept till 3 with the sun beating down on my car. I slept for 6 hours, or 5.5, whatever. So I got up, and Sifa was helping me last night with one of these videos that I am not super proud of, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And he's trying to, he's doing some wizardry. I'm not really sure what he's doing, but he's editing it and adding things and deleting things and going to get me a thumb link and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know the time frame there for that. Now, last night during my stream, he seemed, mighty excited, and he was urgent. He's like, wait, hold on, it's almost loaded. And then he tried to do something. He tried to send it to me, and, your user error, I couldn't quite figure it out. So he downloaded it on his end and then sent it to me, and it was an operational video. So I told him I was brain dead, which I kind of was. But I got off, and I was really brain dead. Oh, there's number 2. Please sponsor my Idaho trip. Thank you. Venmo. Sweet. And Nightbot's going to be every other comment unless we get some people in here, but which is fine. I'm testing it. I don't expect to get to Idaho. There's a couple more emails I have to get out to, to some powers that be that may or may not think it's worth getting me to Idaho. And I needed to cut and paste something from Nightbot. Sorry about that rolling cart. It's really loud. But I'm sure my voice is kind of loud to them, so I don't want to complain about the rolling cart. Anyway, so I don't know the time frame for Sifa. And whatever he does, it's way better. It's way better than I could do. And I haven't followed up in it or in the other 5. I say this all the time, but I mean it. I can't do 9-hour streams. I can't do 4-hour streams. I can't do 3-hour streams. I require so much time to do everything. My shower is way longer than yours. My dinner is way longer than yours. Everything takes a ton of time for me. And, especially for crime sleuthing or this case in particular, the Idaho 4, I have to research, and again, I don't read it and retain all that. I go to the library, I print it up, I highlight it. Liza, hey, how are you? It's good to see you. Thanks for being here, Liza. Thank you for that email earlier. That was so nice of you. I hope I made sense. I forget what I wrote yet, but I hope it made sense. Anyway, I get that they're great streams and people like, the community, and I'm always feeling urgent. I mean, I was starting to look at the date, and I was like, when's my month up? And I don't know when my month is up. I think it's up on the 19th. I might be wrong on that, but I think I have 14 more days to test this stuff. So, I certainly don't have enough information now to decide whether I'm going to keep StreamYard. Twitter not being, without Twitter being able to make comments and stuff. Again, I think that's the single reason that I won't continue with StreamYard. And I could do the free, which is one stream, but I have to stream to 6 streams because I'm not going to do 6 individual streams at 9 hours each. That's 54 hours in a day. So anyway, so Eliza, it's good to see you here. What I was telling the room before, sometimes I'm meticulous and notice details, and sometimes I'm not. And I incorrectly scheduled this for tomorrow at 11:15, not tonight. And I thought I did it an hour in advance so that I could get notifications, but I did it a day and an hour in advance. So I'm just wondering how you knew about this, Liza. Did you get a notification? Oh, I guess people get a notification that I go live. Maybe that's it. But yeah, my scheduled notification didn't go out because anyway. So please sponsor my Idaho trip. Thanks. And PayPal. Sorry guys, those are automatic. They're called timers. So I have 4 Nightbot timers, and they're 10 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 12 minutes, every 14 minutes, and every 15 minutes. So those are going to overlap quite a bit. I call it a test. Certainly anybody can click on those links and give me as much money as you want. I won't refuse any money. Now, I do have to think about it a bit. I think there's 2 ways I can do the fundraising. What I usually do is, it takes me $400 to get gas out and $400 to get back. So I need to, the first way is I need to raise all the money before I leave. And that's a ton of money. But I also tell people, as soon as I get $800, I'm going to shut down the fundraising. And, with time delays or, people in the middle of transactions and stuff, anything I get over $800, I would refund the money. And then some people are like, oh, Joe, just keep it. So I give people that option. I want to refund any and all money I get over $800. I was looking for your live streams. Well, thanks, Liza. Thank you. I'm glad you found it. Yeah, my 1 hour notification didn't go out because I misscheduled it for tomorrow night. But so that's the first way, is raise $800. But I still have my problem with my landlord. I still can't go longer than 3 months, which is nice. I mean, I was thinking I can just go home, check in, and then leave for another 3 months. But that's another $800 to just do the, that's okay. Let me catch up on these comments. So Lady V says, hello, Joe. And JoeHart 2 says, and that's Twitter, says, hey, V Lady V. And JoeHart from YouTube says, hey, V Lady V. And JoeHart from Facebook page says, hello, V Lady V. I'm sure you know that was a typo. So Lady V says, welcome, everyone. Please hit the like and subscribe the button. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Thank you, Lady V. Nightbot, P.S. Oh, please sponsor my Idaho trip. Thank you. GoFundMe. And the link works. Verified by Lady V. Thank you, Lady V. Nightbot, please sponsor my Idaho trip. Thank you. Venmo. Sweet. And Liza. So I bet one day, Liza, I'm going to try to say your middle and last name, but I don't think that'll be tonight. I usually like to know people's names, but as I say, I always pronounce them 5 ways and say, is that right? And they say yes, and I don't know which of the 5 was the right way. But I was always making sure that your first name was correct. Liza. I assume that's correct, but I'll work on the other stuff later. So Liza says, hello, Lady V. And Lady V Is she here again? So Lady B says, Liza, hello, beautiful. Amen. And Liza says, hello, Joe. Well, thank you. Hi, Liza. How are you? And Nightbot, once again. Nightbot's back again. Please sponsor my idle treat. Thank you. PayPal. And Liza, I was looking for your live streams. Well, thank you. And then here's the key part. Liza, people are talking about cults with the suspect. And that gets on my nerves. Yeah, that's kind of strange. I probably wouldn't necessarily agree with anything like that. That is kind of bizarre. So Nightbot, please sponsor my Idaho trip. Thank you. Cash out. So I have 4 of those every 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 14 minutes, and 15 minutes. There's going to be a ton of overlap. I do apologize. I bet there'll be a point where I'll stop reading every comment, especially those comments. But Lady V, oh, wait, how'd that happen? Lady V, yes, I agree, Liza. Yeah, for sure. And Nightbot, please sponsor my Idaho trip. Thank you. GoFundMe. So I think I've read one of all 4. So I don't know when I'll stop, but probably pretty soon. Oop, that's not it. Where is it? So people are talking about cults with the suspect, and that was getting on my nerves. Amen. That would be wild. So I'm caught up on comments. So I've talked about the misscheduling. I had to cancel LinkedIn, so I'm only on 5 streams. I talked about SIFA a bit. I don't really know the status of SIFA, but he was pretty excited to get me something last night. And it was something that I was supposed to download, but it didn't work. So he brought it back onto his computer and he downloaded it himself. And then he sent it to me, and that worked. And I told him, oh, I'm so tired. I'll listen to it tomorrow or today or whatever day that was. And he said, yeah, sure. So I woke up at 3, which is, 5.5 hours. I'm like, holy shit. And he said he was off work. So today was the day to work on it. So I'm like, 3 p.m. I just ruined half of his day. So I was like, hey, I just woke up. I watched it twice. Here's my feedback. And it was minimal. I mean, I did have comments because he asked for comments. He did ask for comments. But with my OCD, I can see, how to perfect something versus, boy, that's pretty damn good. Why don't we just issue it? So I gave him, I think there were kind of 3 ideas. 2 of them you didn't have to do. 1 I was hoping he would do if he thought it was okay. But the bottom line is I said, that's good enough for me as is. You don't have to make any changes, but these are my 3 ideas. So anyway, I need some drink here. So I didn't hear from him for a while, and he said, I just woke up. And I think people are generally in a bad mood when they wake up. Or, it takes people to wake up. And again, I only get words, but I kind of felt like he was, not in a great mood. And I was thinking it might have been my comment, which I know he loves me, and it's not. But it's just the way I read it. So anyway, I got this stuff to him, and so I don't know the time frame. And he was like, yeah, I'll check it out. I'll look at the changes you're talking about. And I said, seriously, you can make 0 changes. And if you think that's a good way to do it, I'm okay with that. And I thought there was really just one thing that I'd like to see changed. And again, if you think it's fine the way it is, please leave it. So anyway, I don't know that time frame. I think he was going to do some thumbnails. I kind of understand thumbnails. I think the challenge, I just need any thumbnail for sure. But I think what's going to be a challenge for me with thumbnails is I will want a, invisible disabilities thumbnail. And yeah, so lady, we tend to read things by the way we are feeling, which I would say is true. And I don't know if you all believe me, but I am generally always skeptical, always pessimistic, always negative, always down. So that's why I'm always like, hey, what did you mean by that? That kind of stuff. So I agree with you. I think it's now I do think, and I'm not going to say I'm the exception to the rule. I think most people can kind of do this too, but I think can kind of read through people's words, even though you're just getting even though you're just getting words, you can kind of accurately read through their words, their voice inflection, or whether it's sarcasm, or whether it's funny, or it's a joke. So I think you can read some of that. But yeah, anyway, I think most of it's on me too. But am I going to be who's that? Who's on Peanuts? The guy with not the dirt, not the guy with all the dirt, but the negative guy. Are they the same person? Frumpy, I forget his name. Who's the dirty guy on Peanuts? And then who's the negative guy? Are they the same people? I think they're the same person. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to grow to 1,000 subscribers if that's the kind of person I am. Anyway, the only tab, the main tab. Okay, I'll show you a couple of tabs. So of course, that's why I use emojis to let people know I'm being sweet to them. That's sweet. I wish I could read them. I wish I could understand them. But thank you. That's a good thing to do. Okay, so I'm going to show. Okay, I'm going to go off screen. So I'm sure you can see me, but I'm going to go off screen. So there's Nightbot, which I don't need to show, and there's the full PDF of the probable cause affidavit. I guess that's a PCA, or I've heard people call it that. And then, of course, Banfield. And then my channel, and then email, and then StreamYard. Hey, is that someone new? How you doing? Hey, YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to just show the picture of Banfield because I didn't watch your show enough to know what's the good stuff. So let me go to, okay. So, hey, Street Life Asia, how you doing? Hi, I'm JoeHart. I'm trying to get going. Anyway, yeah, maybe I should do an introduction. So, hello, I'm JoeHart. I'm a person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. I don't usually talk about my particular disabilities or diagnoses, or what I call them, quirks and idiosyncrasies. That's the exact word for disabilities for me. Those are interchangeable. So I don't usually talk about them because, they don't usually apply, but I usually talk about them through my 3-hour stream. But with crime sleuthing, which what I've been doing for the last 8 or 9 weeks, crime sleuthing is, some of my disabilities help, like OCD, for example. I can drill down with the rest of them. And on a good day, yesterday and today, I'm kind of, anyway, on a good day, I'm really meticulous and methodical and effective and efficient, and I drill down. So I can usually research things pretty well. Now, usually when I'm operating at 80% or 85% or 90%, that stuff I just am flying. But sometimes I operate at 30% or 25% or 35%. And I would say yesterday and today, I've kind of been down in that lower. So I'm making more mistakes and not, so anyway, where is my introduction anyway? Of course, now that what's this, 23 minutes into it, I would like to always start with thoughts and prayers for the victims' family, their loved ones, their friends, the students, the school, University of Idaho, the community and city, Moscow, Idaho, the county, Latah County, the state of Idaho, and all of the law enforcement. I guess now I have to start including the prosecutors and all that stuff. The law and order, I guess. Is that the TV show? So I have to pray for the law and order. So cool, thank you. Prayers, thoughts and prayers. Prayers and love. I think that's prayers and love. Thank you. So anyway, for all the law enforcement, Moscow Police Department, the Idaho State Police, the FBI, specifically the FBI Salt Lake City, which handles Idaho, FBI Pittsburgh, that handles West Virginia, which was listed as the second state to be covering this, and then the rest of the FBI which is the country. Now they modified that, and when they make those lists, they say this is a snapshot. It can change a day before and 2 days after. It's fluid at all times. But by the time they did the raid on B, I won't call him B. That was one of the people that was in my stream last night. The inmate. I like to call him that was cool when I went to the correctional facility yesterday and I called him by the proper word. So I'll call him the inmate. So the inmate, I forget what I was saying about him, but okay. So when the inmate's parents' house was, raided, that was FBI Philadelphia, which is probably the FBI closest in proximity, but it wasn't the one originally assigned. FBI Pittsburgh was the one originally assigned. So anyway, all of them, I just want to pray and thank, thoughts and prayers with all of them. And, when I did my first stream, I said, man, I can't bring up such a political thing. And I was like, I'm going to come up with hey, Joe in chat. Hey, Ara, how are you? It's good to see you, fly by. It's always great to have you. Okay. Let me catch up here okay, so Street Life Asia. Hi, how you doing, Street Life? And Lady V said, welcome, Street Life Asia. And Nightbot asking for money. Thank you, Nightbot. And Lady V has prayers and hearts, which is lovely. And BK, you think we should call him BK? The inmate. No, I'll figure something out to call him. Probably BK. That's the most obvious. And then there's Nightbot again. And then Liza. Today I was operating between 13.5% and 17.8%. That's why I love you, Liza. I mean, there's many reasons I love you, Liza, but your meticulous preciseness. Okay, I won't say I'm double you. So I'm probably not at 25%. I'm probably double you. I understand you. That makes sense. But y'all aren't on camera, which y'all could be shortly. I'll probably have a panel. And Ara, I'd love to have you up here. I know I was in a guest panel with you when you were a guest panelist, and that was very nice. That was the first time I met you, and I haven't, been in a panel with you since then, but that was very nice. So Ara, hey, Joe in chat. Thanks, Ara. Hello. And Lady, me too, Liza. Yeah, Liza, those are funny. I'll forget what those numbers were, but 15 to 17%, I think. Lady, welcome, Ara. Wonderful to see you. And Liza, hi, Ara. So, Ara, everyone calls him BK already. It's too chilling, too close to BTK, honestly. Yeah, I used to put his middle name initial in there, BCK, and that rhymes with BTK. I mean, I guess you could say that rhymes with it. I don't know the rule for something rhyming, but I think it's everything but the last syllable. I think that's it. But so, Ara, I am so interested to hear why this happened and if he expected to get away with it. Well, in my opinion, 47 days is a long time. And I don't know if he was sitting on his laurels going, I succeeded. But I would say 47 days is a really long time. I mean, now it's 53 days, but when he was, I think it was 47. I think, if I'm not looking at the number, I might say the wrong number, but time stops for me when things happen. So when it was announced that he was in custody, time stopped for me for that one day. And so I think it was 47. So, yeah, anyway, and I think, I've read the whole, I've read the entire affidavit and I have it queued up. We can read it again. It's a long read. It's 18 pages. So we could make comments throughout the whole thing, which would be really cool. If he expected to get away with it, who knows? I mean, I think I heard Lady V talk about, Lady V mentioned, that he might have just been so into the act and his adrenaline about particular aspects of the act that he was less efficient. Or I mean, I'm not saying it exactly the way Lady V said it, but just he, I mean, the knife sheath Sheath. Is that the right word? Yeah, Sheath. Asheath. Sheath was on the bed next to Maddie's body. Holy poop. I mean, that with a perfect fingerprint on the button. By the way, I'm going to show Banfield's picture, and she's pushing it. She has the A knife exactly like it, and she's opening it and closing it, and it's really hard to open and it's really hard to close, and she's pushing on it. And then when she finishes, she says, "See, my thumbnail is on it," because it took. Yeah, I mean, she was pretty cool about that. So anyway, yeah, I agree. So Lady V, I agree. It does remind me of BTK, which I think there's similarities. And he, the daughter says he might have gotten in touch with him and stuff, but I don't know. So so Ara. The problem with this is these people will be celebs. Yeah, these killers are remembered long after the crime and outshine the victims. Absolutely. He's I think you're totally correct. I do think that the aspect about this case, and some of the things are obvious of why it's so big. I mean, and I don't want to just look at the white elephant in the living room, but they are Caucasian, and they are younger, and they are attractive. Whatever attractive means, people have different definitions of attractive. So I think that might last a fairly long time. But yeah, you're right. He'll last a lot long. I think his motive was simple, to see if he could do it and get away with it. Yeah, I mean, he was studying that stuff. That is so. I read it as well. Yeah, and I could probably read that thing. I usually read things multiple times, and then it still doesn't sit. I have to highlight it. This is it. You can see my OCD. I cut the border off, and then I highlight it, and then I go through it, and so that's it. That's the 18 pages. And by the way, I don't know if people. I'm sure this is old news, but I don't know if anybody noticed. I mean, I don't know. It might be something none of y'all heard of. It might be something all of y'all heard of. But when I went to the library to print it up, which was at about 4 o'clock, when it was released at 12:30, so I was 3.5 hours late because I was sleeping. But when I got to the library, it came up as 19 pages. And, I scrolled through it, and page 2 was completely blank. Page 2 was all white. And on page 1, it said redacted. And I'm like, there's nothing redacted here. So I was talking to the librarian, the male librarian, and I said, do you think there's something on that page 2 that, like, it's invisible? Like, if I print it up, something will actually print up, or do you think it's empty? And he's like, well, it looks like it's empty. So I just printed up page 1 and then page 3 through 19, so it came up to 18. Anyway, I think it's reported by Brian Enton and a few people that there is a redacted page, that there is a 19th page. And so that's why it says page 1 through 19, except the 19th page says 18 at the bottom of it. So it's weird. I don't know where the redacted page is. So yeah, so anyway, I would love to find out. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be leaks. So I would like to find out if we're going to get the redacted page. But again, it says redacted on page 1. And I went through the whole thing, and I said, every name is mentioned. Dylan, and I mean, they're initials, but we all know who DM is, and BK or whatever. Oh God, is she BK also? I forget Bethany's last name initial, but they put initials in there. But we know who all the players are. So wait, I'm sorry, I didn't read yours. Blip, 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 blip. Okay, so Lady V says, I think his motive was simple, to see if he could do it and get away with it. And then Ara says, he staked them out. Oh yeah, I definitely think they planned it. And Ara, they were targeted. Does it seem like he almost knew the layout of the house? Did he see the roommate that opened her door? That's an incredible question. I mean, I think, I'm a numbers guy, so I 60% of the comments said this and 30% of the comments said this. I can't do that off the fly, but I try to. But I would say the majority of people were saying he was just in a trance probably, and he probably just walked by her without really even noticing that another human was there. Not that he didn't see the other human, but just he was in a trance of some sort. Now, I think he had a plan. I still go with what I said 7 weeks ago. I still think the suspect or whatever. What did you say, Liza? I think I liked your word, but it's way down there. But suspect or prospect. I think you said suspect. But anyway, he so anyway, he planned it. I think he knew where all 6 people were. It's 2023, people. All boyfriends sleep with all girlfriends in the same bed 7 nights a week. They might take a day off occasionally every 2 weeks, but they're going to be in the same bed. So Ethan didn't surprise anybody. Everybody knew that Ethan would be sleeping with Xana. That's what boyfriends and girlfriends do. I know there's monogamy, I'm sure there's asexual, I know it exists, but not the majority are sleeping in the same bed. So I think he had a plan. He had a target 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and he was done. So when he walked by Dylan, if he noticed her, I think he was done with the process. Now, if he was a genius, which I think he was kind of out of sorts at that time, if he thought of it, he would say, "Oh, that's a witness. I have to take care of her now. She's a witness." But anyway, yeah, that will be wild to find out. Ara, he is expecting to get away with it. And I bet he still has 2 or 3, and I think I heard this from you, Liza, but I think I was already thinking this kind of thing. But, I think he has 2 or 3 things up his sleeve, that he's like, well, I left the sheath there, but it's a different kind of sheath, or, whatever. I think he has 2 or 3 things that he thinks, oh, I'll get off the case because I did these genius things, whatever it is. He could see every room by just looking on Zillow for sure, or looking in the house. I mean, if you're going to stalk, and if you're going to peeping Tom, which I don't know if I'd call him either one of those, but I think he staked out the house. Well, they said 12 times or whatever, but he was near that house multiple times before the event, before the crime. So you can look in the windows. I mean, if you're attracted to a woman, you're not going to look on Zillow. You're going to look in her bedroom window. I've heard that's what people do. So that's what I think they would do. So Ara, you know what I need to do that? You know what? I need to do that. Print it out. Thank you for the idea. Ara, you're young and you're smart and all your synapses work. My synapses do not work. So I've read this. I've only read it once. I probably will read it 3 or 4 or 5 times. But yeah, it's great. I like it. And I was going to take notes. So when I went through like tonight, if I read the affidavit, I will ingest none of the information because I'm streaming. I'm too stressed out about the streaming, so I won't ingest any of the words that I will be saying. So that's why I want to read it before. Anyway, I only read it once. Here's lies. I prefer to call him the suspect. Is that because he's innocent until proven guilty, or you just think it's good to keep the name vague? Probably to keep it vague. No, I have to write it out. Cool, Lady B. Lady B, I prefer to call him A-ho. So Nightbot, thank you very much. Street Life Asia, can I call up? Can I call in? I'm not sure, probably not at this moment, Street Life. I'm smaller, I'm more intimate. I usually invite people up that I know. I usually want to make sure they want to come up. And the other 3 people in this room right now, they're invited anytime they want. Lady V, Liza, Ara, they could come up anytime they want. I don't mean to exclude you, but yeah, one thing I do, there's kind of one exception to what I'm saying. I was a guest panelist for 2 or 3 different streams. So if you happen to mention one of those streams if you happen to call me by a particular nickname, but if you say you saw me from those streams, and you can name them instead of just saying, oh, that person, that kind of, I go from knowing you 0% to knowing you 20% just by you naming one of those streams. But so Liza, I do the same in my notes. Liza, when I watched Sifa's video, I was doing those timestamps. I think that's the first time that I've done official timestamps for an extended period of time. So thank you. So, all right. So anyway, all three of y'all are invited up, by the way, which would then have the whole room. Well, it says 7, so I guess we have a couple listeners. All right. I always assume the dog didn't bark, and I go back and think how silly that was of me to assume. Which, I mean, to say that a dog barked, that can be 5 barks. I mean, my dogs, and I think I had really just one dog for my childhood, from the time I was 5 until I was college. And I was going to college, and my parents hid the fact that they put my dog down. That's how sensitive I was. I was going to college, and they had to say, "Oh, see you, Joe. Good luck in college." And then they put my dog down, not to hide it behind me, but just that I was so sensitive. So, anyway, a dog barking can be 5 barks, which I would say that's not barking, or it could be 20,000 barks, which is barking. And that's when a neighbor would call the cops and, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal that we said the dog didn't bark or the dog did bark. I don't think I had a strong opinion, but I thought it's a party house. It's a mini golden doodle is the official name. It's not a golden doodle. It's a mini golden doodle. But they're playful and they're nice, and that's why people get them, because they're super nice. So that's what I thought. No matter who walked into the house, he was probably used to high traffic, and so he would just adapt to them, especially if they gave him money or that kind of stuff. So anyway, so yeah, I mean, that's not silly of you. Be gentle, as I was saying last night. Be nice to yourself, to everybody, not to you. Lady V, I think he saw her. She wasn't on his list, so he let her go. Yeah, lucky for her. I think so. I think, and I always said I thought there were 4 targets. All 4 of them were the target. I might bend on this now. It seems like it's got mostly the female flavor, but it's not. I think there's a lot of speculation out there. I mean, I hear mostly about Kaylee, but I also hear about Maddie, and Xana is gorgeous. So I mean, anyway, Ethan may not have been the target, but I believe firmly he knew he was there. Boyfriends and girlfriends always sleep together, whether it be at the frat house or it be at Xana's house. So, I mean, wherever they sleep, they're going to sleep together. So, but yeah, I agree with that, Ara. He knew there were more people upstairs. Why not start in the basement? Good question. I think and none of us know. We're all speculating, of course. By the way, I was very surprised at how much information was in the affidavit. There was a lot of people saying, they don't, it's going to be a nothing burger. There's not going to be much. They just need minimum amount to prove to the judge that they have a case. And then the judge can say, okay, there's no bond, there's no bail. He's got to stay in jail, that kind of stuff. But I was expecting, and I don't, I'm a numbers guy. I don't want to put a percentage on it, but I would say they probably gave us 25, 30% of the case. I think they gave us a lot of information, especially poor Dylan. Poor Dylan. She was already ripped apart. Now she's going to get ripped apart more because of that affidavit. I feel for Dylan. Why did she take 5 hours to call or 7 hours to call? Or holy shit, So I don't want to rip her apart. I think that's so anyway, if you were asking me a question, it does say, why not start in the basement? That was probably a rhetorical question, but I think she wasn't on the list. I think he stalked or tracked or whatever, 1, 2, or 3 girls. Ethan was part of the plan. He was sleeping there, but not necessarily a target. I'm just blabbering. So, yes, but that assumption led me to justify the belief that the suspect was close to the girls and the dog. And then doesn't help someone look at all the angles. Yes. And I would hate to say that I was, there's one person that I have challenges with that's always on panels, and he doesn't stream himself, but he always needs to interrupt people and say, yes, I mentioned that 5 weeks ago, first stream. Remember when I mentioned that? That was my first thought. So I don't always have to say that I'm, the first to come up with it. But I would say, but I will anyway. So about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was saying, I bet the suspect is no one that anybody has ever discussed or no one has ever mentioned. And I would say, I'm extreme, but I think in the world, no one has ever mentioned this person. So, and I said a few things about that. So, anyway, Liza, Dylan just saw bushy eyebrows and sport physique. My ex-husband, oh no. I hope he's not like the suspect. We'll call him the suspect. But yeah, bushy eyebrows. I mean, when I read the affidavit, which I've only read once, I highlighted. I usually read it and then highlight it during the second time. But I read it and highlighted it during the first one. So I'm, not much has retained. But I do believe the policeman, there's one person writing the entire affidavit. You all know his name. Brett Payne wrote the entire affidavit. So he's writing, it's a first person narrative from one person, the entire letter, the entire affidavit. And he personally mentioned bushy eyebrows, I think 3 times, as it being a very critical connection with other things. It lined up with the car, and it lined up with the phone being pinged, and it lined up with, all the various things. So, Lady V said, me too. And that was 3 minutes ago. I'm not sure what I said, but thank you. So I agree. Well, thank you. I still think he started upstairs. So Lady V, thank you. I'm glad you agree. So Liza, I still think he started upstairs, which means 3rd floor. I assume you mean 3rd floor. I haven't thought about it enough. I do think Steve was giving us a huge hint when he said he didn't have to go up to the steps, or he didn't have to go up the stairs. I think stairs and steps are the same, but I heard people pick those 2 words apart for hours on streams. That he said steps, no, he said stairs, no, he said steps, no, he said stairs. I think there's a difference, but I don't really know the difference. But anyway, I think he was trying to give us a huge hint. And I just never have, there's too much static in my brain to sit down and say, okay, what is my thoughts about Steve's comment? And I don't know if I could do that right now. Maybe I'll try. So he didn't have to go upstairs. To me, would probably mean he went to the 2nd floor first, and Steve might have thought that was the target. So therefore, he didn't have to go up the stairs. But anyway, I don't know 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 4th. Sorry, just 4th. Nightbot, there they are, 3 in a row. That's Venmo, that's Cash, that's GoFund. I do hope to go to Idaho. I don't expect to go to Idaho. I need to raise $800, $400 cash out, gas out, and $400 gas back. I'm gonna, I've got a Gas Buddy, and I'm gonna try to get exact gas prices. And I have 25 cities. I've mapped it out, and I have 25 cities that I'm gonna try to get the gas prices. So I have exactly what the trip's gonna cost, and I think it'll be like $787. I think it's gonna be $800. Anyway, I've fundraised a lot. I've gotten a couple iPads, an iPhone, a couple laptops. I have done major repairs to my car, not 4 tires, major repairs to my car. But as I always like to say, which I don't know if I'm comfortable with this yet, but anyway, the way most fundraising works is that 3% of the people provide 95% of the money. So I don't need anybody to, just ignore those things. You don't have to make excuses. Just ignore those things. Because if I go, it will be because of those 3%. So that will be, anyway, I hope all that makes sense. So Liza says, Hal Myers. I'm lost completely now. But anyway, it says 7 people. But anyway, I don't know if Lady V, I would, of course, like to invite you up first, but since you're my guest panelist or guest host. So, but yeah, Lady V, I'd love to have you up here. Liza, you are welcome to come up here. I am not going to do 9 hours. I am not going to do 4 hours, and I don't plan to do 3 hours. I don't. I really don't. I don't have it in me. It's great that it builds a community, but that's not. I can't do that. I have to do research off the clock. I have to do stuff off the clock, like this. I mean, I would like to have been completely prepared on this, which would have meant that I don't stream tonight. But anyway, I'm black and white. I'm perfectionistic. I'm OCD. So someday I'm going to have to figure out how to do gray, how to do 2.5 hours. But anyway, so Liza, and who was the third one? Ara. I haven't seen. When's the last time Ara? I know Ara is. She's pretty. 11:57. So that's 9 minutes ago. I don't know if Ara's still here, but so anyway, I'm gonna cut. I don't. By the way, Liza, I'm not sure what Hal Myers means. Myers. That might be a typo. Hal Myers. I think I asked the question, but I forget what the question was. But Myers. So I'm gonna copy the link, which I just did. I just copied it, and I'm gonna post it here. So let me paste, and it's there. And so I'm going to click on it in 3, 2, 1, and that should be the link. So, and I am at the restaurant, so I probably should be a little more quiet than I was last night. 2 nights ago, I was pretty successful being quiet. So that's probably why I'm going to go in the direction of a panel. But I would probably just like to show the picture of Banfield, and then go to the what's it called? The affidavit. Alpha David, you know. Hey, Lady B. Let's, your camera's not on, and I assume you always come in prepared. So I think that's what you want. So I guess I'm going to add you. So I'm going to do 3, 2, 1, click.
Hi, Joe.
How you doing, Lady B?
I'm tired too, man. I don't want to do another 9 hours tonight either.
No. Let's do 2+ hours or less.
Yeah, I can handle that. Just not 9.
Yeah, 9 hours was too much. So
I had a really nice time though.
It was
and it
pretty
just
cool.
flew. I mean, it didn't feel like it was 9 hours. I just enjoyed everything so much. It was a nice life.
It was. I really enjoyed having B up here. I like to help people overcome their fear. I want to feel safe enough so that they're able to come up here and stuff. And so I love having B. And then I wish Leo Girl came up, but I think she kind of got lost in the shuffle. I don't know if we addressed it soon enough to try to catch her before she left. But it was good to have Liza come up, of course. So yeah, it was, and I'm sure I'm forgetting half the other people I brought up, but yeah,
and
it was
Fred. We had Fred up there.
2-foot Fred. That was very nice because I've only seen him. I've been a viewer, and he's been a panelist in Brittany's, but I didn't know he was a viewer and I was a panelist in T-Rev. I didn't know that. I was like, wow, you're kidding? You saw me? Okay, yeah, that's
that
me.
chat flies, man. It's hard to keep up with everybody on that one.
Oh my goodness. And T-Rev is similar to me, and I probably got it from him, where he says, I want to address every comment. I mean, he's got, thousands of viewers.
There's no way he can address every single one.
I think he does. Or anyway, yeah, it's really crazy, but it looks like he does it very smoothly. But anyway.
But there's a lot of people asking the same questions and stuff too, so he might address it as
right, collective, yeah,
collectively.
That kind of makes sense.
You coming up, Liza?
Yeah, Liza. So anyway, Liza, you're saying typo, but what was Hal Myers? What was the corrected version of it? And were you answering a question? Did I ask something and you answered with Hal Myers? Hal Myers. See, my black belt. When I get tired, my black belt in typo just suffers.
Oh yeah, mine does too. I have to. Yeah, this affidavit was just, man. If they gave this much out, just imagine how much they have on this guy.
Really, and I think they gave a ton.
Yeah, they did, and I mean, just from everything I heard, I don't know how he's going to get off on that. I mean, he might have something cagey up his sleeve. I don't know, but wow, they got a lot of stuff on him.
And I don't know the legal system, but I've been involved in the legal system for sure. But it seemed like some of the, I mean, I would say overall the affidavit was very solid and probably is almost a slam dunk. But there were parts that, when they would say, well, that, that was confirmed by the car being nearby, and that was confirmed by the phone pinging and stuff. And I think what they call that stuff is circumstantial. So, I get a little nervous when they start, they say if, like if someone's having a party and they invite you and you say, oh, I can't go, and you give them one excuse, you're telling the truth. But if you give them three excuses, you're lying.
Right, right.
And so anyway, when they say, the phone was in the area and the phone pinged, the car was in the area and the phone pinged, and
Well, it
I'm
was
like,
12 times it was in the area, so
oh, isn't that sick? God,
crazy.
God. But okay, but enough for a conviction. Yeah, Liza, I don't know that kind of stuff, but um, okay, wait, let me go back to Liza. I will follow the affidavit from chat if that's okay. Oh yeah, don't ever feel like you have to come up until the crazy information get into my nerves. Some things don't
Customer 2.
aren't
Your shower
they don't
is
make
ready.
sense to you. Yeah,
Please proceed to shower 3.
and all of it was a typo. I need coffee. So all of it, both of those words are a typo. But enough for a conviction. And again, Liza, Liza, I think I told you the story about me being an advocate, right? Over in Twitter, I have a bunch of followers, but they're fragmented, and 61 or 62% of them are in the United States. So that means 39% are in the rest of the world, and that means that includes about 110 countries, I think. So I'm all over the world. So my name says Joe Hart, Advocate of ADA, and Liza, I'm sure you probably know multiple languages, but you probably know what advocate means, or advocado. I assume you know what that means. So I will be doing all these things on all these platforms, and so they would pop up and they'd go, "Oh, so you're a lawyer?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm an advocate. I care about the law, and I want to take care of myself, and I'll help other people." And they're like, "No, you're that. Yeah, that's what I said. You're a lawyer." And I said, "No." And they said, "That's what advocado means." And I'm like, "No." So anyway, there's like 8 languages, 8 major languages, like Latin and Italian and French and German. They have a word really close to advocate, and it means lawyer. So it was wild that everybody thought I was a lawyer. And I'm like, "No, I'm not." So anyway, that's my lawyer story. So anyway,
Yeah, but
Liza,
she's our legal advisor resident here.
who, Liza? Oh, hell
Yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah.
She's a smart lady.
So yeah, we care what you think about that question. I know you put a question mark. Oh well, you put 3 question marks. So I would say that probably means you're skeptical at best. But I don't want to read into your words because I only get words, and I don't get voice inflection and all that stuff. But I assume I don't want to assume anything. But Liza, would you agree that the affidavit was, even though it was a lot of information, it was probably 20 or 30 or 40% of the information. So they still have a ton of stuff that they didn't tell us. Would you agree that that's probably true? And so anyway, Liza's gonna. So we can read that affidavit. That would be kind of cool. Now, the restaurant's a little crowded right now, but in a couple of minutes, Lady V, if it's okay with you, I will probably take a quick recess, and I guess
Sure.
I guess I didn't prep well enough before this stream, so I have to. So I have to.
I get it.
So but there's 4 people right in my way, so I kind of want that cleared out so I can just run and be
Right.
super quick. So but yeah, Liza, I would be interested to hear that. So okay, let's see here. Let me show the Banfield picture. I scheduled my stream for tonight, and I thought it was for tonight, but it wasn't. But it was like at 10:05, And for some reason, I always catch Banyan after she has started her show. I never catch her before the show. So I always go on there, and then it says, do you want to go live or do you want to start at the beginning of the program? And I say, I want to start at the beginning because I want to see everything. But if I'm only 8 minutes behind or 12 minutes behind or 15 minutes behind, I can usually fast forward through the commercials and catch up before the thing ends. You know, by the time
Right. Yeah.
by the time 11 comes around, I'm live also.
Yeah, I used to do that on purpose.
Yeah, right. I
Because
don't do
hate
it on
commercials.
purpose. I'd rather get there at 9:59 and see all of it. Can I call in? Did you get my answer the last time I said that? Street Live Asia? I don't know if you.
We don't call in. We go up on panel. Here,
Yeah,
it's not.
I tend to have that. Hey Jay, I guess you're in the same situation as Street Life Asia. I'm fairly new. I'm fairly strict. I usually invite people up that I know. I don't usually invite people that I don't know, especially if they've never made a comment. Street Life, I appreciate you've made a second comment, but it sounds like you didn't hear my first answer or you ignored my first answer. So Jay, I don't know you, so I'm probably not going to invite you up. So you can feel free to leave my backstage if that's okay, and maybe make a couple comments. I have been. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Hey, author side of the game. So author side of the game. Street Life has been here a while. I've seen him before. Well, cool, Arthur. But guess what I'm going to say? I don't think I've ever seen you here. But I might just not know names. I guess my memory is shot. But anyway, Street Life, did you hear my first answer and you just decided to ask me a second time? Or did you step away and not hear my first answer? That's kind of critical to me. I'm disabled. I perseverated about stuff. So anyway, what were we talking about? I forget what we were saying.
We were talking about Ashley Banfield.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I thank you very much. So anyway, tonight I did start it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I can't do that. I have to get ready for my live stream. So I just paused her, and I paused on it. I didn't plan on doing this, but it's a picture of her doing the knife sheath. And so it's and I could probably. I mean, I probably don't want to get in the habit of showing moving videos of her show, but I probably will because I really like her. But I probably want to get in touch with News Nation and her and just ask for permission or ask for forgiveness or however that stuff works. But
Right.
But it is pretty cool. She knows how to,
you could probably reach out to Brian and ask him what the protocol on something like that would be, because people use his videos all the time.
Cool. And I probably want to ask him for his permission too. But
yes.
Currently I only have his Twitter. I don't know if his DMs are open, but I could send it there and keep it private. But I always like to be like, I don't need to be private, but I always assume that they may want me to be private. So I would rather send him an email or a DM or something like that. But
sure, I understand that. I'm
probably a good idea. So, so author said, yeah, sorry, I don't know what's going on. I mean, maybe you assume that I have traffic like Brittany and T-Rev and Lost Souls, and I will never remember everybody in the stream, but that's not true. I have 8 people or 10 people or 12 people. So I'm going to remember most names. So anyway, I don't mean to bicker with y'all. I like to stay on topic. I like to stay on the Idaho 4. I'm not always good at that. Tonight, I probably want to do the affidavit, or at least some of it. And so I guess I want to jump up there. It is clear, by the way, over there. So let me see here. So I'm going to say present and share screen and Chrome tab. That's not showing. Let's try that again. I don't see Banfield. Let's see. Oh, that's it. Okay. So this is just a still picture of her. So yeah, I always like to do numbers and stuff, but I'd say probably 20 or 30 seconds before this, she first started showing the knife. And she was showing how hard it is to unsnap it. And then, of course, she was trying to show how hard it is to snap it. And I'm sure she's a pretty athletic person.
Well, yeah, but that just depends on how old it is. I mean, you know, I mean, leather's usually tight until it gets loosened up and been used. I mean, if he's used that particular sheath a lot with that knife, it might not be as hard as she thinks.
And that, I mean, I'm sure she was just making an example of one knife,
Right.
and but I think her point was, and I would probably agree with this, is the description of, and I forget how it's described. Either I don't think it's described as a fingerprint, but it's described as DNA.
Yeah.
And I think if it was worn in and it was easy to snap, there wouldn't be a bunch of DNA. But it was hard to snap, there'd be a bunch of DNA. So I think that's what she was saying. If you're snapping
Okay.
down on, but it was and again, when I read this 3 or 4 times, then I'll know exactly what was said. But something along the lines of, it was a perfect match on DNA, or it was a great match, or something. They called it something rather spectacular versus, oh, it was a partial print, or it was, it was, anyway, I don't know what the quote was. But anyway, that's Banfield. And maybe I will stop.
Do you know? Yeah.
Go ahead. Do I know what?
Oh, I was just going to say, I just find it crazy that they found him through his father's DNA.
Yeah, isn't that pretty wild?
Yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh. I mean, I can't wait till we start talking about this affidavit, to be honest with you. I've got a lot of thoughts, and just like
about the
you
parents
and everybody. We'll know about everybody.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
like
about a ton of different things in there.
In the affidavit.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, let's get to that. Eliza does say, agree, Lady D.
So are you going to go ahead and go while you're playing Ashley Banfield?
I'm not going to play anything of Ashley. Well, I mean, it's 20 seconds, so you would run out of it.
Oh.
What I will probably do, I mean, I could play it. Okay, I'll go back to, okay. I love her. I'll share it. So present, share screen, Chrome tab, YouTube TV, share. That's it. Now I'm going to go off screen. I know you can see me, but I'm going to go off screen, which I think I'm already there. Let me see. How do you minimize it?
Probably in the corner down at the bottom left or
okay,
right.
So let me mess around with it. I'm going to start it and then jump back every 15 seconds until we get to the beginning of the night. So I'm going to start it.
All over it. Even if I were to wipe every insignia from the right side of, well, he almost left a collar.
Okay. I think, okay. So I don't know what happens after this, but it's Banfield, so it'll be fairly entertaining. So
okay.
I'll start it, I'll leave, and it'll probably be a minute and 30 seconds or so.
Sounds good.
I'll be back. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1.
That there was enough evidence in that house to lead investigators almost immediately right to Koberger's door. And when it comes to physical evidence at the crime scene, the suspect, well, he almost left a calling card, a K-bar knife sheath, the sheath to the knife, likely the sheath to the weapon that was used in those brutal stabbings. It was found to the right side of Maddie Mogan's body in her bedroom on the 3rd floor and in the same bed as the body of Kaylee Gonsalves. It was the snap on that knife sheath that held crucial DNA evidence from the killer. I want to show you something that I actually have in my possession. It's identical. This is it. This is the K-bar sheath and the K-bar knife, the USMC and the United States Marine Corps Eagle Globe and the anchor insignia that's stamped on the outside of it. I don't know how well you can see this on the angle, but there's the stamp, and here it is, the actual snap. You can hear it on my microphone. And I want you to see just how hard it is to try to unsnap it. You can hear that, right? You have to use a lot of strength. You really have to use your fingers to snap it back up. And what I'm doing when I do that, I'm leaving my DNA all over that snap, all over
Hi,
it,
B. Welcome.
everything down. Now, they don't have the knife, right? We know that.
Joe, be back in a minute.
They had the sheath. Most importantly, they had that part right there, the snap, with whatever the killer put, fingers, hair oil, DNA on that snap. And that ended up being critical. Kaylee's bedroom, that was on the 3rd floor. We know that. And we also now know that that is where police found her dog, Murphy. According to the affidavit, Murphy was heard barking on a neighbor's security camera at 4:17 in the morning. The security camera was just 50 feet away from the front corner of the house where Xana's bedroom was located. Look at that police car. It's just right above there. That's Xana's bedroom. So just to the left bottom of your screen, that would be where the house is with the security camera. And that camera also captured some distorted audio of a whimper and a loud thud at that very same time. And it is right around that time that authorities now say the murders took place between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. And there's more. The document states that a roommate with the initials DM, that is presumably Dylan Mortensen, one of the 2 survivors.
Hey,
Hello. B's in the room.
B, what's up, man? Or, I say man, but what's up, woman? So B survivor. Hi, Joe. Hi, Lady B. And hi, Liza. And B, I'm good. Hope you both are doing well tonight. I'm really tired.
Yeah,
But,
I am too, but I'm doing well.
Yeah, thanks for asking. How are you doing tonight? So okay, let's I needed to take a break, so we just did Banfield just to cover some time there. And I hope it wasn't too boring, but I think I'll stop it there if that's okay.
Sounds good to me, whatever you decide.
So Liza says, I will argue that the defendant lost the knife. Wow.
Why do you think that? Do you think he, lost it where? I mean, he didn't lose it in the house. He didn't lose it in the yard.
Oh, you mean that the sheath, it's like losing your gun. So you're saying he lost the knife, so someone else put the sheath there. Oh, I think I get it.
Okay.
The whimper and a loud sound. Give me a break.
Yeah, that's, you fell asleep this morning in chat, B. I was watching Grizzly, and he actually went back speculatively to see if he could find his sheet. So I think, I think he still has it.
Yeah, I think he has the knife, but I think Liza is saying she would just argue that he lost it, whether he really lost it or not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think she's talking like a lawyer. Am I reading that?
Yeah, probably so. I'm sorry.
The defendant would become not guilty because he lost the knife. Like people, they say, oh, no, my gun was stolen. I didn't use my gun. Someone else did.
Yeah.
So that would be wild. But, and then, hi, the survivor. Okay, so let's go to, I'm going to go off screen. I never know how to do this stuff. Let's see here. Present. That's why I have to talk myself through it, because I really don't know what I'm doing. So present, share screen, Chrome tab, full BPTF. Okay, there it is. Let me share it. And then let me get on screen. So I don't know if you all can see that. I can't read from that point of view. But so I'll be off screen and I'll be reading and I'll probably just be scrolling. Now
Can
I
you
can,
enlarge that a little bit more?
I think I can try, but let me see what happens when I take us, full screen.
Okay.
That didn't do much, but okay, let me go back. Let me get off screen and it's at 100%. Let me see what happens.
Oh, much better.
110, did that help?
Oh, yes.
125, or can I go back to 110?
Oh,
110, is that
125 is good for me, to be honest. Oh, yes. That's good right there. It's fine.
okay? And then
One.
let me just see if I can scroll pretty easily.
Ooh, I like that one too.
Okay, so anyway, all right. So now I'm back on screen. So hello, everybody. So I'm going to just, let's see, exit full screen. Okay, so there's Joe and Lady V. So Liza, I will say someone took the knife from him months ago. Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. That's wild. And I mean, lawyers are supposed to do their job, and even if it's for someone that all of us don't like, they're supposed to do their job. So yeah, I mean that makes sense. That's Nightbot. So okay, so I'm gonna just probably read the affidavit. I think I can see all the comments at the same time, but I might miss some. So I probably will have Lady V assist me with the comments and stuff, including yourself, Lady V. So I will just read until someone says, "Hey, I want to talk about that paragraph" or whatever. So,
Okay.
so like you can say that verbally, Lady V, or you can type it, or however you want to do it. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm
so
too tired to type. I'll just say it.
so, so I'll go back there. So I am off screen. Let me see. I am now off screen, and I'll just start reading. So I like to read everything. So on the side, it says December 29th, 2022. PW 252 probably is the time. Clerk of District Court, Latau, which I think is really strange because that's quite a few days before he entered Idaho. And, they were talking about the lawyer was already doing stuff before he came into Idaho. So it's kind of strange, all that stuff. So, okay. Exhibit A, statement of Brett Payne. Can you hear me really well, or should I loop it around my ear like that?
I can hear you fine. Chat, can you guys hear him fine? It sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. It's still near my mouth, so let me. I don't like that, so I'll bring it down. So I'll bring it how I've been doing it for the first hour. Okay, so hopefully everybody can hear that. So, Exhibit A, statement of Brett Payne. Oh, okay, I am off screen, so I can't see any comments. So it's all up to you, Lady V, of when we should stop and talk.
Okay.
So, cool, thanks. The below information is provided by Brett Payne, who is a duly appointed, qualified, and acting peace officer within the County of Latah, State of Idaho. Brett Payne is employed by Moscow Police Department in the official capacity or position of Corporal, CPL, and has been a trained and qualified peace officer for approximately 4 years. CPL, or Corporal Payne, is being assisted by members of the Idaho State Police and agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. On November 13, 2022, at approximately 4 p.m., Moscow Police Department, MPD, Sergeant Blaker, and I responded to 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, hereafter the King Road residence, to assist with scene security and processing of a crime scene associated with 4 homicides. Upon our arrival, the Idaho State Police ISP forensic team was on scene and was preparing to begin processing the scene. Let me scroll, and I don't have a mouse, so it's going to be a pain in the ass, as you can tell from that. Wait a minute, let's see here. Let me see if I can do the cursor. Let me see. Okay, the cursor does work. So, okay, preparing to begin processing the scene. MPD officer OFC Smith one of the initial responding officers to the incident advised he would walk me through the scene. Officer Smith and I entered the King Road residence through the bottom floor door on the north side of the building. Officer Smith and I then walked upstairs to the second floor. Officer Smith directed me down the hallway to the west bedroom on the second floor, which I later learned through Xana's driver's license and other personal belongings found in the room was Xana Kernodle's, hereafter Kernodle room. Just before this room, there was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body. It's too bad he doesn't say where. He says lying on the floor, but he doesn't say if it's in or outside the bedroom. But anyway.
Yeah. And it's Xana, not Ethan, right?
Later identified as Kernodles, yes.
Okay.
So I'll keep reading. Sorry, I interjected that. So as I approached the room, I could see a body, later identified as Kernodles, laying on the floor. Kernodle was the deceased with wounds which appeared to have been caused by an edged weapon. Also in the room was a male, later identified as Ethan Chapin, hereafter Chapin. Chapin was also deceased with wounds later determined, and there's a huge break here because I have to go to page 3. So, with wounds later determined, autopsy report provided by Spokane County Medical Examiner. And I think there's a redacted something, probably their name, I don't know what's redacted, but the County Medical Examiner, blank, dated December 15, 2022, to be caused by sharp force injuries.
Joe, you were, okay. Did you notice that on Xana, it said that it had an edge blade, and on these it's saying sharp trauma?
Yeah.
It kind of makes me wonder, I mean, because an edge blade would be something that would have grooves or teeth or whatever on the side of a blade.
Serration. Yeah, serration.
Yes, that's, yeah. And stabbing, and I know they're not saying slicing either. They've always said stabbing. So, but I think it's a big difference between stabbing and using an edged blade. I wonder.
And I agree. I mean, this affidavit is huge, but I bet every word is intentional. They used it a particular word. So yeah, why is Xana's different than Ethan's?
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah, I personally think Xana and Maddie were the ones that were targeted, and the other ones were just basically collateral. That.
Wow. Golly.
I think I honestly I think that Mad Greek has something to do with it. I have a feeling he might have seen them there, and fixated on him and saw Kaylee there and probably saw Ethan there, and just fixated on them. But yeah, that's what I think anyway. But yeah,
for sure.
because we had that rumor about what happened to Xana, and with this, I'm kind of wondering. Well, no, with the, I'm kind of wondering if you're going to be, if you're going to be trying to really unattach something from a body, you would need an edged blade.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Stabbing.
Right, okay.
So I'm wondering if that's true, because they were talking about trigger warning, her head.
And you don't actually mean hip, right? You mean a very personal part, right?
I mean, I heard that she was pretty much,
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah. So hopefully that's not true, but that kind of makes me wonder about it. You hadn't heard that?
I had heard that about some of them, but the Reddit post or the 4chan that went off the, things were hanging from the fan and all that. They mentioned.
Holy moly, I didn't hear that.
Oh, it's horrible. It's the most. Anyway, they were talking about how the knife was a sexual object with.
No,
Kaylee,
that I agree with.
With Kaylee, but they were mentioning Kaylee specifically.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think it was the three girls, mainly Maddie and Xana, but Kaylee was there from what I understand quite a bit too. So, that would make her a target. And then Ethan was just, collateral or whatever. But I'm hoping what you said and what I said just now are not true.
oh yeah, absolutely. And mine came from either 4chan or Reddit, and yeah. So, oh, it was terrible.
Some
The
of
post,
that has been
yeah.
kind of reliable, though, in this case.
Yeah, I mean, I still believe. I don't know if you've seen my polls that I have in my
I did.
community page. Yes.
I voted.
Oh, thank you very much. But I tried to make up percentages that would cover all votes. I wasn't trying to just put my opinion in there. But but anyway, I don't think it's 0%. I think there
No.
is a percentage of 4chan being reliable and a percentage that Reddit is reliable. We just have to be the disseminating person. We
Yes.
have to read it, and the 20% that you think is reliable might be different than the 20% that I
Yeah.
think is reliable.
Oh, I
But
totally agree with that.
but we still have to disseminate it ourselves. So yeah, I mean, there's, it appears. I haven't gone to Reddit in a couple of weeks just because I'm overwhelmed. I'm trying to do research and I'm trying to get a tab so I can live stream. I'm looking for tabs. I want to get a tab. That's what I want to get. So, but anyway, you're exactly right. Why did they have two different descriptions for Xana and Ethan? And we've only described two of them so far. They might
And
have.
did he have two different knives? But I think on that K bar, it has an edged blade on it, if depending on which one it is. Uh, if it's more like a Rambo type knife, then that would have an edged blade. If it was more like the one that was double edged, but it didn't have any serration to it, then he must have had another one.
Hmm.
I mean, logically, that's what my brain says.
And who knows? He might have brought more than one knife, and one knife for some reason was out of commission. It hit bone or whatever happened to it. So,
Right.
yeah, he could have had a backup just ready, in his pocket.
Yeah.
You know,
And Liza says, I believe the suspect had a day to attack that house with or without Kaylee or Ethan in it. So she's kind of thinking basically the same thing I am, that really the main targets were Xana and Maddie.
which, as you said earlier, we generally read comments in the position we're in,
Yeah,
and
no, yeah, it's very
and
true. That's why I
and
don't
I
like
and I
messages.
and I could read Liza's to mean therefore all four of them are targets. She's saying it sounds like she's saying there could have been another day if he just wanted to attack the two of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, there could have been another day, or he picked that day and they just happened to be there on their day. I think
Yeah,
that's what she's saying. With it doesn't make any difference with or without Kaylee or Ethan. He was going to go to those two girls on that particular day.
and
That's what
and
I'm reading that.
and as you say, the connection is most likely the Mad Greek. Um,
Yeah, I mean that would make sense to me, and uh, it's really the only restaurant. If you pull up vegan for that area, it's the first one that pops up.
and I know people argue till the cows come home about if he's going to make his aunt and uncle buy brand new pans, then he wouldn't be willing to walk into any restaurant and eat food. But I think he would be
Well,
willing to do that.
I do too. I mean, if you're hungry and
Yeah,
there's, you got to eat something, then that's as close as he can get to it.
yeah, I think for sure. Okay, let's get back to the. Thank you for all that. So let me. I'm not going to really take notes, but I guess I do want to take notes on that. Those two different descriptions. So let me run up to the first one. So it was. So Xana was an edged weapon. edged weapon for X. And then for Ethan, it was a sharp force injuries. Ick. I always think of blunt when I hear of force.
Yeah, it's the first thing that usually your brain goes to because you hear it so much on blunt force trauma with people hitting their heads and everything.
So sharp force. Yeah, that,
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be a different knife. I mean,
Yeah.
I think their words are precise, and if they're going to use different words, it probably means a different meaning.
Oh, I do too. I think every word that is in this affidavit is chosen deliberately.
Plus, they had days and weeks. I mean,
Yeah.
from the time he was, brought into custody, they still had 5 days to perfect this paper.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm sure it was already written. So they just needed to edit and make it perfect over 5 days. Okay, let's see. I then followed Officer Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consists of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Gonsalves, hereafter Gonsalves' room. I later learned from review of Officer Noonan's body camera there was a dog in the room when Moscow police officers initially responded. The dog belonged to Gonsalves and her ex-boyfriend Jack Decor. I found out from an interview with Jack Decor on November 13th. Wow, the day of they talked to him. I found out from my interview with Jack Decor on November 13th, 2022, that he and Gonsalves shared the dog. Officer Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side of the third floor. This bathroom shared a wall with Madison Mogan's, hereafter Mogan bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor. As I entered this bedroom, I could see 2 females in the single bed in the room. Both Gonsalves and Mogan were deceased with visible stab wounds. So they're described as visible stab wounds.
Liza says that she believes in 2 knives as well. She said it's more problematic for forensic, but it's easier for him because knives do get dulled.
Oh,
Which,
wow.
yeah, which is, yes, yeah, especially if it's hitting bones and
And,
things
and
too.
lady says, I agree. So I believe in 2 knives too is more problematic for forensic, which I mean kind of lends that thought that he's really smart or a genius or whatever you want to call. I have my opinion about what he is, but yeah, that would lend to that where he would make it more problematic for the forensic. Easier for him. Knives get dull. Oh, what a horrible topic we're talking about. So let me go back to full DP. Okay. Okay. Um, Both Gonsalves and Mogan were deceased with visible stab wounds. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath lying on the bed next to Mogan's right side when viewed from the door. The sheath was later processed and had K-Bar, USMC, and the United States Marine Corps Eagle globe and anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it. The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA suspect profile left on the button snap of the knife sheath. So I guess that's not as I was saying that it was an incredible way to describe it, but that's kind of neutral, just to say a single source of male DNA. But okay, so single source of yes.
Oh, nothing.
Oh, okay. And Liza and B, feel free to write a comment so Lady V can say, "Stop, we want to talk about that." So feel free to send comments in or
Or
say,
say that you want to come up here.
yes. B, you're always welcome, as always. And Lady, I mean Liza, I know you said you wanted to be in the chat, and that's fine. But B can come up and all that stuff. But I can't see the screen, so Lady V will let me know about that stuff.
Yes, I will.
Cool, thanks. As part of the investigation, Numerous interviews were conducted by Moscow Police Department officers, Idaho State Police detectives, and FBI agents. Two of the interviews included BF and DM, Bethany Ficky, I forget her last name, and Dylan Morganson or something. Sorry, I don't know their last name. So two of the interviews included Bethany and Dylan. Both Bethany and Dylan were inside the King Road residence at the time of the homicides and were roommates to the victims. I can't believe they call them roommates also. They're not roommates, they're housemates. But anyway,
I understand. I see your point.
I wonder
didn't
why cops
think
say
about
that. I mean, I understand why the general public says roommates completely, but I don't understand why the cops would call it roommates.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I don't know.
so Bethany's bedroom was located on the east side of the first floor of the King Road residence. Can you believe Dylan was on the second floor? Golly,
That blew me away.
that blew me away. And I don't know who the streamer was, but there was one YouTube live streamer that proved that. I think it was Melanie or one of the M's, Mallory or someone, but they were showing pictures and they're like, this proves it. And I'm like, she could have visited any bedroom. And they were so right. Anyway.
Well, it came down to the fact that in that bedroom down there was a bed, but it was like up against the wall, and it's not something you would use if you were in there all the time.
Yeah, like storage. Yeah.
Right. And it's more for hey, somebody needs to sleep over, or, let's go get a quickie or whatever.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of what it looked like. And
Amen.
but yeah, to find out Dylan was on the second floor, and then to find out she saw him and he just walked past her and left her be, that was just, my brain just blew up.
Now, I know I talked about it before that I think he had he had targets and there were the four of them, and so he was done. But
yeah, I agree.
I would completely change my opinion if Dylan saw him when she was on the first floor versus when Dylan saw him when she was on the second floor. I think being on the second floor, he would just snap a little quicker. So I don't know why I think it's different, but yeah, I would think differently now that she's on the second floor.
Yeah, and Liza says, laying in the bed next to Maddie, he looked at them one last time and saw that leather sheath. He left it there. Just one single source of male DNA. Sounds planted by suspect to me.
Wow, Liza, you're getting me thinking. So,
Yeah.
do you think that that the suspect is being framed by someone else and he really did lose his knife? But yeah, I think it's wild that
Mind blown. If that's the case, wow.
And I got this from you, Lady V. I didn't have this original thought, but you were saying along the lines of that, and I won't use your description because it's too graphic, but you're saying that he was just in the moment, and so he wasn't thinking properly, and then he would forget the sheet. So I kind of agree with you on that.
Oh, she said no. She thinks he was playing. He's playing with the cops.
How do you see that comment?
It's right here.
I know. I didn't see it. You got it 5 seconds before me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you see the comments?
Now I can see it.
Oh, well, let me know when you don't see the comments, and then I'll watch. But if you're seeing them, there's no sense in me saying them. You'll see them.
No, I like you reading the comments anytime, but I especially like you reading the comments now because I'm usually off screen and I'm reading. But I impulsively go, oh my God, she's reading it and I can't see it. So I'm trying to test StreamYard.
Yeah, there's a little lag. A lot. So
that's how I'm not saying anything about you. I'm just saying, wow, 5 seconds. That's a long time. So anyway, that's it. So keep reading them all you want.
Yeah.
Even if I don't see them.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the same way. I personally think that Dylan wasn't on his list. and he left. And then you have people saying, well, he could have been kind of like, he's looking at her, but he didn't really see her there because, he's in that moment.
Right.
I've heard that. And then I've also heard a lot about why did it take Dylan so long? And the thing of it is, okay, we're talking about she's 21, but she's still a child. I mean, their brains aren't even fully developed at that point in their life. So you have an adult that's still only partially adult, and then you have the fact that you see somebody, whether she sees anything. And I had said, somebody said, well, how could he walk out of there without anybody seeing any blood? And I said, if you have black on in the
Right.
moonlight, especially, you're not going to see it at all.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so whether she saw any on him is debatable, because it's the same way. I mean, if he had washed, maybe, well, and he wore a mask, so he could have just taken the mask off and very quickly wiped his face. But that doesn't go with the he was in the moment thing. Then that's more
Right.
calculated. But so she's half an adult. She sees this scary person. Her fight or flight kicked in, and she took the flight in her mind. And then she shut and locked her door. Well, what people don't understand, they were out partying that night. She could have still been somewhat tipsy.
Right.
And then to have that happen, you're so disoriented by all of it that you can disassociate from reality and step back. And there were people that were saying they were involved in trauma and stuff. My first husband beat me, and
Oh, golly.
I
Sorry
would
to hear.
go. It's a long time ago. I'm
Right.
But anyway, my point is that there were times I just disassociated with reality, and whatever the shock would just kind of set in, and I would go to sleep, whether I was really trying to go to sleep or not, just from having
Right.
all
Yeah.
of that happen in your mind and body, that because it affects every part of you.
Oh,
So I
sure.
think honestly that she probably disassociated, fell asleep, and that's why she didn't call until what time was it, 11 or something the next day?
11:58. Yeah, 11, right before noon.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, those are all great points. I'm always the first to say, don't pick on Dylan, leave her alone. But I am a bit concerned now with this, going, wow, that's pretty intense to not call the cops immediately, or not call the cops at 7 or 9 or 11.
Yeah,
And
but I mean, I know she could have texted too, but if you're in that moment of disassociation, 5 minutes, 5 hours can seem like 5 minutes to you.
oh yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's all of it is pretty sad. I mean,
It is.
that's a pretty intense thing. So let me okay, so
Uh,
let me go back up a little bit. So B Service said, I agree, Liza. My first thought was he had to know he left it. And then I thought, why would he leave it there? Good point. And then Liza, he exercised his God complex. He let Dylan live as well. He did the other girl. That's I've heard of God complex. That's pretty intense.
that's a perfect way to describe it too.
That I mean, he can be God. He can say, you two are living because of my choice. So Liza says, sorry, Lady B, I understand. The brain shuts down. God, amen. Cool. So I'm going to go back off screen. I'll probably forget exactly where I left off, so I might repeat. I'm going to just start at the top of the page here. So, okay. Based on numerous interviews conducted by Moscow Police Department officers, in Idaho State Police detectives and FBI agents, as well as my review of evidence, I have learned the following. On the evening of November 12th, 2022, Chapin and Coronado are seen by Bethany at the Sigma Chi House on the University of Idaho campus at 735 Nez Perce Drive from approximately 9 p.m. on November 12th to 1:45 a.m. on November 13th. Bethany also estimated that at approximately 1:45, Chapin and Coronado returned to the King Street residence. Bethany also stated that Chapin did not live in the King Road residence, but was a guest of Coronado. So Gonsalves and Mogan were at a local bar, the Corner Club, at 202 North Main Street in Moscow. Gonsalves and Mogan can be seen on video footage provided by the Corner Club between 10 p.m. on November 12th and 1:30 a.m. on November 13th. At approximately 1:30 a.m., Gonsalves and Mogan can be seen on video at a local food vendor called the Grub Truck at 318 South Main Street in downtown Moscow. The Grub Truck live streams video from their food truck on the streaming platform Twitch, which is available for public viewing on their website. This video was captured by law enforcement. A private party, blank, reported that he provided a ride to Gonsalves and Mogan at approximately 1:56 a.m. from downtown Moscow in front of the Grub Truck to the King Road residence. That Grub Truck video I probably have seen, or I never took in any information from the video. That's too overwhelming for me. But I observed that video, or large portions of that, probably 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 times.
Yeah.
And it's such a distant past. I'm like, golly, was that a year ago? When were we watching that? It seems so distant.
Yeah, I agree.
That's so wild.
And I think them releasing the Grub Truck video was just confused the situation. Because here they are blaming Joe V, and then they're blaming Jack S, and they're blaming the guy with the number 9 on. I mean, just all kinds of crazy things, jumping from one to another. And I kept saying, if it was me, I would be sitting in my car outside watching the Twitch feed. I wouldn't have to show my face in there. And I believe he liked to be an voyeur. So it might have been even more exciting for him to be sitting out in his car or something and watching them. Yeah, watching them on the Twitch feed instead of, going in there.
Amen. And I think I'm 95% sure that the law enforcement found out about the feed from Olivia, Kaylee's sister. So it was probably in the public, being disseminated by YouTube livers, probably 4, 5, 6 days before law enforcement knew about it.
Could be.
By that time they were probably saying, "Hey, can you all tamp that down a bit?" But it was too late. It was already out there. So, amen.
Yeah, once something like that gets going on YouTube, it's hard to shut it down.
Ooh, golly.
And there's a lot of channels that are very sensational that will use that for clicks and views.
And I think that's true with more streamers than the streamer themselves thinks their channel is. I think it's true with a lot more channels than, most. I hear a lot of people say, "Oh no, I've never done that. It's all speculation. It's all allegedly." And I'm like, that's not what y'all did. That's not what it was.
Right. I agree.
But anyway, I can only take care of my channel. That's all. Okay, so let's go back. And, the chat, please chime in. And B, I don't know if I've seen B's comments in a while, but B, you're always invited to come up. Okay, so Dylan and Bethany both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of the King Road residence were at home by 2 a.m. and asleep, or at least in their rooms, by approximately 4 a.m. That's a huge variance, 2 hours. This is with the exception of Coronado, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at approximately 4 a.m. Law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information. That blows me away because they said 3 to 4 was the
Yeah.
murder. And this is 4 p.m., which, I mean, that bag could be dropped off outside the door and they all could be deceased by this time. But I think it was the Jack in the Box bag that we saw inside the
Yeah,
kitchen.
it was brought inside.
So that's so late. They said 3 to 4. And I know later in this affidavit, they adjust that 3 to 4.
They would have to, okay, it would have had to have been taken inside, because if it had not been, then we would see the bag either, by the basement or back by the sliding glass doors as evidence that it wasn't taken in.
Which probably would be true. Now, I would, if it would, no matter where it was, I assume it would be evidence. So it could have been the law enforcement that brought it from outside to the kitchen counter that we saw the bag on. So, so B server, what did she say? Sorry, B.
Actually, Liza says
Customer 5.
that we see it
Your
talking
shower
about
is
the
ready.
food bag.
Okay.
That we see it
Shower 3.
as she's looking at a fight and somebody getting out. DM heard crying and voices. Did she hear a massacre? I don't get that part. I don't either. And then B says, my
I don't
phone
either.
was so loud last night. I'm so sorry. I went back and listened, and it sounded like I was standing in the middle of a monsoon. Apparently, I have a great speaker in my phone. Well, why don't you go ahead and come on up tonight, B? We'd
Yeah,
enjoy
B.
that.
It was wonderful. I didn't. I just noticed toward the end when it was doing that, the rainstorm. But
Yeah, it
I
didn't
mean,
bother me.
you were flawless for about 2, 3, 4 hours. So feel free to come up all you want. So okay, so I know, Liza, you mentioned the whimpering before, and we'll get to that in the affidavit. But for my brain, I can't process any of the noises that Dylan heard. That's too. I have to read it for a 5th time before I will process those noises. For whatever reason, I don't mean to, blame her or anything, but anyway, it's so. Oh, thanks. I can try. Okay, so let me send you the invite. And OTC posted, hi OTC. I haven't read your comment yet. I will get to it. So okay, let me paste B server. I'm going to post it in 3, 2, 1. There it is right there. So OTC.
I didn't see that one.
It's on YouTube.
Oh, huh.
I was thinking it might have been on a different platform, but it looks like it's YouTube. But OTC's kind of IT savvy, so he could be entering from anywhere. And yeah, I don't know. So OTC, the killings happened after 4, not 3 to 4. Yeah, like the cop said originally. That was a tactic they used. Yeah, that could be. But yeah, I was just mentioning that clearly if they're going to get an order at 4 after 4 or whatever, I just read it. But like I said, I won't take in any information while I'm reading it. And I know that sounds weird, but I'm.
My husband doesn't either. When he reads something, he has to read it multiple times.
Yeah. So B survey. Hi, Krista.
He's in the back.
Is that the Krista? B server. Yours
Oh,
says,
Krista.
So that is the Krista, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll bring them both up. So B server, yours is okay. So I'm going to add stream for B server. Sorry. Let's try that again. There's B server.
Did it work?
Hi, B.
Hi, is my phone super loud?
No.
You're clear, but you're not extra loud.
Hold on.
No, you're clear. You're fine.
Okay.
So the Krista, I think this is her first time. So are you ready, the Krista?
Yeah, I think she just changed it to Krista.
Okay, I'll call you the right name. So I did see her face, and then so I assume you don't want the camera on, which most people don't. So I'm going to add you in 3, 2, 1. There is Krista. Hi, Krista. How are you?
Hi, Krista.
I'm good.
Hi, Krista.
I'm good. Hi.
Yay!
So I think you were saying last night that this would be your first time up on a panel, right?
Yes. And this is odd. I can't hear myself because I have my headset on.
Oh,
Well, you sound good.
well, you sound good to me.
Yeah, you sound fine
Okay.
to me.
All right. That's good.
So, Krista, I just noticed your private chat. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I did not notice you. But anyway, I apologize for all that.
No, it's
Well, that's
fine.
one reason I'm here, right? Is help keep track with all of that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay. So OTC, yes, I got yours. So B server says I can try, and B server says, "Oh, thanks. Yeah, you were a rock star last night. No
Oh,
pressure.
my phone was so loud though. Oh my God.
Was it? You listened to it again?
I went back to listen a little bit to see, because I was sitting by the window. I have to sit in a really particular spot when I'm on my phone in the house, and it was raining last night, and it sounded crazy when I was listening to it. I was like, oh my God, I cannot
Yeah.
believe everybody was listening to that. I am so sorry.
Well, once we knew what it was, especially, I'm kind of like Joe. Once I know what it is, I can block it out. It doesn't bother me.
God, I felt so bad. I was like, wow, that was horrible.
Personally, I was just
Audio.
thrilled you stayed on panel with us because I very much enjoyed what you were saying.
Oh, thank you. I had a lot of fun last night.
Well, good.
I
I'm
like
glad you
being
did it.
here.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you came back. So
I'm still super nervous though, so.
That's all right.
So am I. You
It
sound
doesn't
great.
leave me.
Okay. I was a wreck last night, Krista, and they said that I did okay, so.
So, Krista, how are you doing? Have you been able to read the affidavit?
I haven't. No, I saw you were on, so I got onto your channel as soon as possible.
And we're trying. And sorry, again, I messed up on notifications. I tried to do it more than an hour in advance, and I scheduled it for tomorrow. So my notifications did not go out. So I apologize for that. Someday I'll figure out notifications.
That's
But
okay. No, I was looking out to see if you were on.
well, cool. And we are reading the affidavit right now. I think we're on page 3 of
Okay.
18 pages. So we're not going super fast, but we're trying to get through it. So I'm reading it, but I'm off screen, so I can't see the comments. So if any of the panelists or if any of the chatters want to say, "Hey, let's stop and talk about that," then just chime in. Just say, "Yeah, I'd like to talk about the sheath," or you don't have to say that. Just say, "Hey, Joe, stop," and then I'll stop, and then we can talk about it. Okay?
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
You got that, B?
I got it.
Okay. So let me. I'll try to do some comments, but I really should get back to the. So okay, Liza, how suspect knew that Xana ordered food? Did he have mics inside the house? Did have the cells hacked? Now I'm not totally following your question, but I don't think that the suspect knew Xana ordered food. I think that's reported by the police, but I might read your comment wrong.
No, I think you're reading it right. She wanted to know how the suspect knew that Xana ordered the food. Did he have mics inside of the house? Did he have the cell phones hacked? I think maybe he was just waiting for people to kind of calm down and go to their rooms, and he saw, because apparently it wasn't too long after the DoorDash food got there that he entered, right? Because now they're saying between 4 and 4:25.
I read the affidavit, but I haven't retained all the information. I think it is pretty early, like 4:07 or something.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
right
soon
after that.
It's right after this DoorDash. So OTC says, "Okay, I just got here," and Nightbot and Liza has a thumbs up, I think, and Liza says LOL and Nightbot. So I'm caught up. Okay, so let me go off camera. So now, that's a new comment. I didn't see that one, Lady V.
Which one?
Something just popped up, the bottom one.
Oh, it's a Nightbot.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, great.
And I just put welcome OTC.
Oh, thanks. OTC's a rock star.
Yeah. If you guys could hit the like button and subscribe in your notifications, that would be awesome.
I hit the like as soon as I came in.
Me too.
That is so nice of y'all. So it says page 5 of 19. So I guess we're going quicker than I thought. I thought we were on page 3, which of course page 2 was blank. So we're on 5, which really means 4. Anyway, okay. So Dylan, this might be repeating, but I'm going to start on this paragraph. Dylan stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the 2nd floor. That is hot off the press, verified as new information. Dylan stated she was awoken at approximately 4 a.m., but what she stated sounded like Gonzalez playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the 3rd floor. A short time later, Dylan said she heard who thought was Gonzalez saying something to the effect of, "There's someone here." By the way, this next couple paragraphs is exactly what Liza was talking about. So Liza, feel free to chime in whenever you want about this stuff. So say something to the effect of, "There's someone here."
Now, she said that word originally bothers her. Maybe it's nothing, but it drives her bananas. And everybody was in the house by 2 a.m. Suspect was patiently waiting.
So everyone's in the house by 2 a.m. So patiently. Yeah, I think he was outside staking the whole thing out.
Yeah.
So the word, I'm trying to figure out what word bugs her. So is the word originally? So
yeah.
the word originally bothers me. Maybe is nothing, but drives me bananas. Oh, you're talking about analyzing the. Oh, I thought you were talking about. I don't want anybody else to say that word again. But you mean analyzing the affidavit. I don't recall reading the word originally, but I bet I did. So I'll go back. Stated she originally went to sleep. Okay, yeah, you're right. That is weird. Okay. A review
Yeah,
of
that
records,
is weird.
isn't it? It sounds like
Yeah.
she can change her story
She
or something.
originally said, so would she change it?
But it doesn't say Dylan stated originally. She says Dylan stated she originally went. So they're not saying she changed the story. She's changed. It originally is in
Yeah.
a strange place. It should be
Yeah.
one word back, and then it's talking about that she changed the story. But anyway,
Right.
we'll get more info. A review of records obtained from a forensic download of Kernodle's phone showed this could also have been Kernodle, as her cellular phone indicated she was likely awake and using the TikTok app at approximately 4:12 a.m. That blows me away. So Dylan, because originally it was supposed to be from 3 to 4, and I think in a couple paragraphs they're going to change that. They modified the time clearly because they have a lot of facts that are saying it's after 4. So Dylan stated she looked out of her bedroom. What the hell does that mean? Is the door open or out a window or something? Anyway, Dylan stated she looked out of her bedroom but did not see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. Dylan stated she opened her door a second time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Kernodle's room. Dylan then said she heard a male voice say something to the effect, "It's okay, I'm going to help you," which, if that's Kernodle's room, that could be Ethan, but I bet that's the suspect saying that. Any guesses on who is saying, "It's okay, I'm going to help you"?
I don't know. That's really weird.
I'd say it's Brian.
Yeah,
I would
I
lean
think
more
it's-
towards it being Brian.
I think it's Brian too, but it could be Ethan. I mean, except he wouldn't use those words. He would say, "Honey, I've got you. I don't worry, I've got you all."
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He
agree.
wouldn't
I
say
think
it that way.
was the suspect.
Yeah, that's a weird
he,
way.
he would know her name and probably say her name and reassure.
Amen. Yeah, that's a weird thing.
Liza put suspect in capital letters.
Hey, Liza, did you notice I start using the word you suggested? I like the word. I mean,
Yeah,
not that
I like it better than saying his name, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
I used to
I'll do
say
that.
I used to say the 3-letter abbreviate. Anyway, I don't do that anymore. All right, I'm sure I will. Anyway, at approximately 4:17, which is what Lady V just said, At approximately 4:17, a security camera located at 1112 King Road, a residence immediately to the northwest of 1122 King Road, picked up a distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper, followed by a large thud. A dog can also be heard barking numerous times, starting at 4:17. The
Okay,
secure,
so
yeah,
okay, so they heard a whimper,
oh,
they heard a loud thud,
yeah,
and this was in a house that was a little bit less than 50 feet away from them. So
right.
if they heard the loud thump and they heard the whimper, that would have to be pretty loud, don't you think?
I
I mean, a
agree with you.
whimper is like a quiet little
Right.
kind of thing. It's not like a loud thing.
It's not a
So
scream.
I'm
Yeah.
confused about the word whimper, but um, for the neighbor to hear it next door, right in that vicinity there, you would think that the person on the basement floor would have heard it
Hmm.
too. And I
Possibly.
don't remember seeing really anything in here about uh, Bethany mentioning any of that.
Yeah, I don't think they did. But
That's just, isn't that kind of weird too?
now and I don't, like I said, when I read things I don't retain them, but I think it said that the security camera picked it up. Like for example, I think B just said this being on our panel. Um, our devices pick up incredible things. So we're screaming into our phone, but we don't have to scream. We can go, hey, guess what? I'm talking and you can hear me.
Right.
So
And I agree with that, but that's still like, let's say it's somewhere between 30 and 40 feet away and you
right,
have walls in between
right,
you,
right. Yeah, no kidding.
and that ring camera or whatever. So that would still have to be fairly loud for it to pick up that audio, in my opinion.
But what do you think, Krista? Any thoughts on the topic?
Okay, and so this was something that was digital that picked it up, or was it neighbors that just heard it?
Okay, it says a security camera located picked up distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. So it was the camera. It was not the neighbor.
And we
Voices are
lost B, right?
It's what?
We lost B.
Yes. B, you're
Okay.
always invited. Please come back up.
okay. So Murphy was in Kaylee's room, which had a balcony. So maybe he had put the dog outside, slammed the sliding glass door, something along that nature, and the dog
Mm,
whimpered.
No, because the dog was found by the police in Kaylee's room.
Yeah, maybe let him back inside, or
Oh,
do we know if
right.
that sliding glass door was left open?
Yeah, Lady D, maybe I should read the rest of the paragraph. But yeah, at this time, the dog is outside. It says a dog can also be heard barking numerous times starting at 4:17. The security camera was, less than 50 feet. So yeah, at that time, I think you're correct, Krista, that the dog was outside.
Because that's what I would think is maybe the balcony. That was Kaylee had the balcony attached to her room, and Murphy was found in that bedroom. So maybe he removed the dog to the balcony and shut the sliding glass door.
Oh, wow. That
Maybe.
makes
And
sense.
Liza says the conclaves was the first one that alerted there's someone here. The suspect was in the third floor first. DM knew that Kaylee slept with her dog, and the dog was alone, locked in her bedroom.
Oh my goodness. So I think Liza is saying that the Gonsalves family, the other people, were the first ones to alert.
No, she's talking about Kaylee. Kaylee saying there's someone here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because
Kate
if you
said
read
that
down,
still
it's
in
we
her.
haven't gotten there yet.
Right. Okay. Yeah, golly, there's so much there. Huh. Yeah, golly. Okay, I'll keep. I think my head is getting too much information now, which is good. Which is good. Okay, the security. Okay, I read that. So DM. Sorry. Let me go back to my cursor. Okay, so Dylan stated she opened her door for the third time after she heard the crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking toward her. Dylan described the figure as 5'10 or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. And that is what nailed him, is the bushy eyebrows. The male walked past Dylan as she stood in a frozen, shocked phase. The male walked toward the back sliding glass door, and Dylan locked herself in her room after seeing the male. Dylan did not state that she recognized the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene.
That and the fact that her not recognizing him means that there could be a fairly decent impression that he'd never been to a party. Um, and I heard somebody else was talking and saying that they wouldn't have had somebody his age at at a party anyway. But I oh gosh, I was going to say something. Can you put that up on the screen, Joe?
I can.
Thank you.
I forgot I took it off. So okay. Was I reading while it was not on the screen?
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
okay.
I didn't mean to do that. So let's see here. I don't know what this is going to do. It says solo layout. Let's try to see what that does. Oop, that's not what I want. Hi, Lady V.
Hi.
Okay, review. Oh, golly. I didn't kick both of y'all out, did I?
No, I think I'm still here.
Okay. I don't know what. Exit solo.
Okay.
Lady
Where's
V,
the
did I kick you out, Lady V?
Customer 6.
Oh,
Your
hi,
shower is
Brendan.
ready.
I usually
Please
invite people in
proceed
that
to
I'm
shower 1.
know and I'm aware of. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Anyway, um, you're welcome to sit there, but I probably won't invite you in, Brendan. Sorry about that. Feel free to make comments. If you happen to have seen me in two or three particular streams, Lady V, here she is. Sorry, Lady V. Hi, Lady V.
Oh, that's all right.
I
hi lady?
so
So
okay,
I was going to say something about that. Could, could you scroll up just a little bit?
sure. Let me go off screen, and it's a different page. Okay. Does that cover it?
Uh, okay, right there. Okay, so less than 50 feet from the west
Customer
wall
6.
of Pernodal's
Your
room.
shower is ready. Please proceed to shower 1.
The DM stated she opened the door for the third time after she heard crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered his face. And it covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. So he saw her.
It sounds like it. Yes.
Not
Customer
very
7.
muscular, bushy
Your shower
eyebrows.
is ready. Please proceed to shower
And
4.
then he just walks to the sliding glass door. I think we're right. I think, he had those in mind that he wanted to do what he did and he didn't care about anybody else.
Okay, but where was he walking from? Was he walking from the direction of the stairs that went up to
He
the
would have
third
had to have
floor?
been walking from the second floor room or down the stairs from the third floor into the second.
And I I think I've heard other people say this, but I think he was coming from Xana's room, because if he was coming from third floor, Dylan would have said, I saw him coming down the steps.
Yeah, I agree. I agree
Oh,
with
that's
you.
true. Yeah.
But I'm just speculating on that.
You know,
Um,
I'm still wondering, okay, if I don't know, because I was gonna say I kind of think maybe he went upstairs to the two girls, Maddie and Kaylee, because in here it says that the girls were in the bed, right?
right.
Mhm.
So if the girls were in the bed, but Xana and Ethan were up, it makes logical sense to me that he went upstairs first, and then, you know, Kaylee says there's somebody here, and then go back down and have a confrontation basically with the other two, one of which was another one of his targets.
Mm.
That's what I'm leaning towards right now.
That makes sense. I was focusing on B. I guess she's back, and I just sent her the link, and I said, "Please come on out." So,
Entering through the balcony is really, I had wondered about that. It's really not that high or that difficult
Yeah.
if that's what he chose to do.
mm,
Yeah, I agree. I thought he could very easily, especially with the ladder there, you know, right?
Mhm.
There was a ladder there. So, I mean, he could have used that ladder too.
hi B,
Am I back?
you're back.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Woo.
I'm so sorry. I dropped my phone. That was crazy. I just had to like crawl to go get it. It fell under the couch. I'm so sorry.
No problem. You can do anything you want. Don't worry about it. I'm glad
I've
you're
done it
back.
before too.
Oh yeah.
I'm so
Crazy.
sorry.
Oh,
I'm
stop.
such a hassle.
No, you're fine. I'm
I
glad
went to
you're
pet my
back.
dog and I had it bouncing on my leg and it just like slipped off. Oops.
So Liza says, "Will you guys describe the suspect as athletically built?"
No.
I would say tall and slender is how I would describe him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, there's some really big guys that don't have strong muscles, and there's also very small guys that just have pure muscle.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, because, you know, he has those long, sinuous muscles.
Mm.
Like my husband's the same way. He lifts a 250-pound machine in and out of his van all day long at different places. And he has those long muscles. He doesn't have the bulky ones,
Mm.
which a lot of times they can actually pick up. A lot of times they're stronger than the bulky guys. But I don't know. I mean, if he's all in a jacket and covered up, how could she tell whether he was athletic or not?
Just the
And
mass of him, how tall he is. I mean, wearing all black. But,
That could have enhanced it, is what you're saying?
that
What's
he
that?
that he would
I,
look bulkier than he really is because of the jacket.
Yes, yes. I mean, we've
I
seen
could
him
see
with
that.
the bulletproof vest on, handcuffed, and that does make him look pretty, pretty
Yeah,
big.
you're
And we've seen him
right.
when he was pulled over in the driver's seat. You know,
And
he looked intimidating. I mean,
yeah,
and a size like that for a small girl and in the
right.
dark.
And Dylan's big. I don't know. I think she's 5'10", or she's pretty big, but still she's female, so she would be intimidated probably.
Yeah.
But also, I think, how they say, 10 high eyewitnesses can see it, the same event, and give you 10. It was a black person, it was a white person, it was a female. They're all over
Mhm.
the place, and so I think everybody looks for particular things, and Dylan might just look for physiques. That might be one of the things she looks for. And so that's maybe why she said athletically built, as opposed to all of us going, well, I don't think he was too athletically built. That might have just been, plus she was under shock. I mean, I could imagine those interviews. I mean, what a
Well,
horrible thing.
well, and she, like I said earlier, I mean, she was probably still a little bit tipsy.
Mm.
She said she was asleep, so she heard this stuff, so she's disoriented because she's just waking up. And then for her to see this guy coming directly for her, I mean, that's a lot to take in at that time.
Oh, I'm terrible. Any kind of situation like that. My description is so off
Mm.
of the person that I saw. Yes.
Oh, sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
I've often told my husband if they call me in and want me to draw somebody's face, or I would be very hard pressed to do it because I look at their mouth because I always focus on their mouth so I can see, because I have hearing problems. I have problems with consonants sometimes.
Mm.
So I look at their mouth when somebody's talking to me, or even like here on StreamYard, I look at people's mouths as they're talking so it kind of helps me
Mm.
hear what they're saying in a way. So, but there wasn't a whole lot to look at besides his eyes, right? Because he
Yeah,
has a mask on, he has a jacket, he has pants, and I'm assuming boots.
it was dark, or probably dark.
Did
I wouldn't be able to do it.
it say that he had his turtleneck over his mouth and nose too? Is that what it said?
It said he blocked them somehow, but I think they mentioned a mask.
I
Can you
think
all
they
see that?
mentioned mask. No, because you have his back on the screen. So.
I want to see all of y'all. Okay, where's my?
Can you see me?
No, not see
No.
you, but see
Oh,
your.
okay.
It's not giving me an option that I used to have. I have to remove it and start over. I don't get that.
That's weird.
I wonder if that's my memory. I wonder. Okay, it's gonna mess up. It's gonna. All of us are. Something's gonna happen. Shit. Let
Okay.
me see if I can do something else. Nope. It's my only option. Wait.
Okay.
No.
We're
Okay.
ready.
I'm sorry. I have stop screen. So I'm going to stop screen, and that didn't do anything. And then I'm going to present, and I'm going to share screen, and I'm going to share screen, and I'm going to go to Chrome tab. And what were we looking? Oh, PDF. So I'm going to go to PDF and share.
Now, Liza had said, my reasonable doubt. And then she put, black makes us look skinnier. Remember, ladies? Yeah, I do, because I wear black almost every day. I have something black on.
Liza, you're funny. So
Well, she's not wrong.
yeah, I'm sure. So yeah, that's my Liza. That's my lawyer out there. My reasonable doubt. Man, you would be great. And I don't want you to be the defense. I would prefer you being the prosecutor, but you sound like a great defense lawyer. But I don't want to.
Well, even a prosecutor has to think about the defensive side because they have to counteract what the defense is going to say because it's their burden of proof, not the defense's burden of proof.
Okay, someone just popped in the backstage, and it doesn't show on my screen because it's too many. So anyway, I'm going to scroll down. Hi, Peter. I'm JoeHart. I'm pretty new to StreamYard. I don't usually just invite just anybody. I don't recognize your name. You may have been in my stream, so I probably won't invite you up. You're welcome to go back into the chat room and maybe make a couple of comments. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
I don't
leaving.
even think they made a comment in the chat yet.
Oh, I'm sure you didn't. But I always like to address them. I try to be as reasonable as I can. Okay, so any more comments or should I go back to reading? My reasonable doubt, thank you, Liza. And black makes all of us look beautiful. Okay, more reading? Okay. Oh, wait. Let me see what's on the screen. Okay. Like I said, I don't have this option anymore. So let's see. Okay, I'm going to do full screen layout. And on this screen, it says remove from stream, but I don't have that option once I do this. So anyway.
Well, you could leave it like it is right now. I mean, we're all still on here and we can read it. Can you guys read it?
Yeah, I'm totally fine.
You can read those words?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm old. All right, so I'll keep reading. I'm off screen. You can see me, but I can't see you. And I don't mean be that I see you. I'm just talking about your profile
Avatar.
I
icon.
know. I was
Yeah.
like, oh God, I look a mess right now. I don't want people seeing me.
Yeah,
Me
that's why
too.
I have mine with my face up there too today.
Oh, I look a mess too, but I just happen to be on camera.
It's
So
different for men.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
It is.
so DM stated. Okay, we read that. You all wanted to scroll up, so I want to scroll down. We're still on page 5. I mean, actually, I just went from page 4 to 5. So how have we gone backwards? How did that happen?
I asked you to go back a little bit.
But after reading for a while, it seems like I'd still be on the same page. Okay, never mind. The combination, I think this is a new paragraph for me. The combination of Dylan's statements to law enforcement, reviews of forensic downloads of records from Bethany and Dylan's phones, and video of a suspect video as described below leads investigators to believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. That is so fast. Golly. During the process,
Wait, does anybody know what a video of suspect video means? What does that mean?
well, it says as described below, so I think we're going to find out below what
Oh,
he meant.
okay.
But yeah, I don't know what it means, but hopefully they'll tell us. And remember that so we can say, hey, it never told us what a video is. So
And Liza says, we don't know if it was dark. Those kids used to keep those living room lights on. If he left from the sliding door, who put the kitchen stool by the sliding door? That's a good question, but I think they're talking about not those sliding doors, but the balcony of Kaylee's room, which on the 3rd floor. But
and
if you look in there, they've got that good vibes light on. They might even have little fairy lights in their rooms and stuff, because I mean, I'm 60, I still do that stuff. So I don't
yes,
like to turn lights on. So like when I get up, I like to have just enough light where I can see what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because the only, like right now, the only lights that are in the house that's on is where I am, and at my desk, not even the big light in the room, because I hate light. But I do like nice little, LED lights or whatever to help me see. So when they said, when they were leaving that house after they searched it the first and second time, they said they left the lights exactly the way the girls had it. So we had back there on the patio, we had those, or on the 2nd floor sliders back there, there were lights hanging that were on. Like if you were to go outside and be having a party and they turned, some lights on. So there was just like a series of lights hanging that were on. And if you were to look in the videos from outside, you could see that the good vibes were on, and several other lights were on. So yeah, I think he could have seen very easily.
Yeah, I think there was a decent amount of light in there.
Oh yeah, because
and
girls don't like the dark and not being able to see something coming at them,
No.
especially this horrible situation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know who put the stool. I've always thought that the kitchen stools were by that sliding door because the girls put it there to try to ensure somebody couldn't go in there from that
See,
particular area. So I had always thought it was either the balcony or that window over on the, if you're looking at the second part of the house, if you're looking straight on, it would have been that window right on the other side of the house on the by the balcony area, right
Yeah,
back behind there on the right hand side, because that screen was missing.
right. I think it had a cinder block outside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the screen, I think there was other footage of when the police were there for a party noise complaint, and you could see that the screen was off. So, I mean,
Oh,
it
it
was
was
yeah, I think probably just due to, you know, they had to
Yeah.
get in because somebody locked
abuse.
themselves out. You know, it
Right.
was, you know, they're
Oh, that
young.
could be.
Um,
See, I
and
didn't
then
know.
other than that, the stools, the only issue with that is they remained there after the police had, gone in and out. So I know a lot of people are saying that the police may have just done that.
I can't see that happening. I've had law enforcement in my family, and I can't see them using that to block it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't either, and I really had a hard time with that, but maybe just because it was a small town and to
Right.
secure it early,
Could
they
be.
didn't really have anything else at that moment in time.
Yeah,
So,
anything's possible, and those doors are notoriously hard to block.
mhm.
Yeah. That's my thought. My thought is the sliding door that he used was the second floor. Although he's tall enough to do the third floor, he could do it, but I think he did the second floor. I think that's in here somewhere. But also, I think the kitchen stools were put there by the law enforcement. That's just either just my opinion, but I think it's been in. Anyway, there's quite a few streams that have talked about that particular topic for a while. But anyway, it's all speculation.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
let's. Any more comments, or should I continue reading?
Mm.
Okay,
I'm good.
I'll
Continue
keep.
reading.
I'll keep reading. So during the processing, what are we at? Page 6 of 19. With one of those pages being empty, so we're only on page 5, really. During the processing of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. This was located during the second processing of the crime scene by the Idaho State Police forensic team by first using a presumptive blood test and then amino black, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. The detected shoe print showed a diamond-shaped pattern similar to the pattern of a Vans type shoe sole, just outside the door of Dylan's. Nope, is that D? Yep, outside the door of Dylan's bedroom, located on second floor. This is consistent with Dylan's statement regarding the suspect's path of travel. As part of the investigation, an extensive search, commonly referred to in law enforcement as a video canvas, which might be the video that they're referring to, referred to in law enforcement as a video canvas, was conducted in the area of the King Road residence. This video canvas was to obtain any footage from the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, in the area of the King Road residence and surrounding neighborhoods in an effect. Boy, I am getting tired. Um, and surrounding neighborhoods in an effort to locate the suspect or suspects, our suspect vehicle or suspect vehicles traveling to and leaving from the King Road residence. Let me get my cursor. This video canvas resulted in the collection of numerous surveillance videos in the area from both residential and business addresses. Like I said, this is a first person narrative by one person. What's his name? Payne. I think Payne is his name. So it says, I have reviewed numerous videos that were collected and have had conversations with the other Moscow Police Department officers, Idaho State Police detectives, and FBI agents that are similarly reviewing footage that was obtained. Ooh, here comes the vehicle. A review of camera footage indicated that a white sedan, hereafter suspect vehicle 1, was observed traveling westbound in the 700 block of Indian Hills Drive in Moscow at approximately 3:28. Approximately at 3:26 a.m. and westbound on Steiner Avenue at Idaho State Highway 95 in Moscow at approximately 3:28 a.m. On this video, it appeared suspect vehicle 1 was not displaying a front license plate, which is not needed in Pennsylvania. A review of footage, but it is required in Washington and Idaho. A review of footage from multiple videos obtained from the King Road neighborhood showed multiple sightings of suspect vehicle 1, starting at 3:29 a.m. and ending at 4:20 a.m. These sightings show suspect vehicle 1 makes an initial 3 passes. Oh, these of him doing turnarounds and all. This is crazy how many times he went by the house before he stopped. And he wanted to park right near the house. This is bizarre. This is the most bizarre thing. So these sightings show suspect vehicle 1 makes an initial 3 passes by the 1122 King Road residence and then leave via Walenta Drive. Based off of my experience as a patrol officer, this is a residential neighborhood with a very limited number of vehicles that travel in the area during the early morning hours. Upon review of the video, there are only a few cars that enter and exit this area during this time frame. Suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a 4th time at approximately 4:04 a.m. It can be seen driving eastbound.
Your shower is ready.
Sorry for that noise.
Please proceed to shower 2.
That's me, so I'm going to leave. I'm going to take a shower. No, yeah, joking. Suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a 4th time at approximately 4:04 a.m. It can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping. This is bizarre. He did this.
I mean, how does he think that he's going to drive all of this and not be picked up on somebody's cameras? I know that he allegedly went around and were taking cameras from people's houses, but 4 times, it's almost like he's begging to be caught. And then Dylan, him just leaving Dylan there. It's like, okay, so they can see your car. Dylan sees you. I mean, were you planning on getting arrested after this to prove that you could get off, or you think you can get off? I mean, I don't understand. The logic just
it doesn't seem like
to me.
It doesn't seem to be the perfect crime for sure.
No. Because I would have parked on the back side of their house, like around on the other street behind their house at least, and walk through that wooded area and then walk back. I wouldn't have parked my car like right there.
And if I was doing something like this, which I never would, but I would drive forward in my car and park once. I would never stop. I would never turn around. He did a 3-point turnaround. I mean,
I know.
And we haven't read that part yet, but I mean, what are you trying to scream to the cameras? Hey, notice that I'm doing something weird. You know,
hey, I'm a suspicious vehicle over here. I mean, yeah, it's just bizarre to me too. I don't get it.
I would have driven forward and stopped once, and that's it.
But he had been to that house 12 times before that too.
That is so incredible.
Wow.
Golly, that's sad. So, I probably ought to know your all's voices, but I don't think I'm hearing much from B. B, what do you think?
I just think it's crazy. Like, I mean, they made him sound so smart. And then we start reading and it's like, I don't know, like you're all over the place, like backing around and like trying to pull in people's driveways and not making the right turn. And then like, it's just crazy. Like he must have wanted to get caught. I just don't get it, Yeah. And like looking at Dylan and
leaving the sheep.
Walking out, like that's a witness, like if they made any noise at all, you would think not that I would want him to do this, but you would think he would take her out too. A potential witness that saw his eyes and
that's a logical thing. Liza says too, the anterior page says investigators believe homicide began between 4 a.m. and 4:25, but at 4:20 at 4:20 was whenever they saw the car and it was leaving. So I'm paraphrasing what she's saying, but it says that they saw his car at 4:20, and I picked up on that too. So I mean, how could it be between 4 and 4:25 when you catch the car at 4:20?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even catch that.
Now, I read it a little differently. I think the original comment in the affidavit was that the crime started at 4 and ended at 4:25. So 4:20 makes entirely good sense to me, because they might have been off by 5 minutes and it really was 4:20, as opposed to it starting between that time. But I don't know. That's just my guess.
And he was like kind of hanging around there before then, right? You know, didn't they catch him on the other cameras? Didn't it say like 326?
12 times, or yeah, he
Yeah,
came
like
12 times.
yeah, like what is this guy doing?
Yeah, no, the 12 times I believe were other times he drove by the house in the past. Like,
Other days, yeah, okay.
yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting things mixed up because
No,
I've
that
read
was
this
me.
earlier today,
he
and
drove by it what 3 or 4 times that night.
yeah, like what is this guy doing? Honestly, you know, like everybody's gonna see you. There's so many houses right there. There's kids walking around. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't understand what you're saying, Joe. How can it be between? Oh, so you're just saying maybe they were off 5 minutes and then the car sped off, left at 4:20. But wouldn't they just say, hey, between 4 a.m. and 4:20, because that's when we see his car leaving?
Yeah. My rationalization isn't too obvious. Yeah, I mean, it's not too logical. But yeah, I would say, I mean, I think when you read it, you were saying it started sometime between 4 and 4:25, and I think they were saying that was the start and the finish.
No,
And,
it said, Liza said, uh, investigators believe the homicide was between 4 a.m. and 4:25, which makes sense because at 4 a.m. you have the deal dash, right?
yeah, the DoorDash, yeah.
The DoorDash, and then at 4:20 you see the car leaving,
Which is really quick for him.
Yeah.
I knew he did it quickly, but when I hear it, I'm like, 20 minutes is so effing quick.
It really is, especially if he did all the damage that it
Right.
sounds like he did.
Yeah.
God, that's crazy. Golly. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Wait, where's I'm gonna take that off the screen. Now, there's a lot going on here, and I hate blocking anybody's face, and so I'm sorry that I'm blocking people's face. But
Oh, I'm fine down here. Don't worry about me.
okay, thanks. It's not your face, I know. So okay, I'll go off screen, and y'all can still see the reading, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to read that whole paragraph. I'm just blown away that he kept going around and around. Okay, so suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a fourth time at approximately 4:04 a.m. It can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road, number 52, and then driving back westward on King Road. When suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road residence, it appears to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around. God, right in front of the house.
But well, remember they were out there and they were taking those tracks that they found.
Yeah, and everybody was saying those aren't real tire. That no one believed that it was part of the case, but
right. Well, if
it
he
is.
pulled in there to try to park it, yeah, they very well could have his wheels on file now.
Yeah, that is.
That's just
He couldn't
stupid.
do
I'm
anything
sorry,
right.
that's just ignorant.
Like you can't even park. You're going in for a murder and you can't even park right.
Yeah, no kidding. Just park. Stop moving your car.
You studied all of this, but yet you tried to park at the house where you're going to do this deed. That just doesn't.
This guy, like, oh,
I mean, that's just
Guy here.
crazy.
like what a bad. I mean, I guess he got away with it for a little while, but what a bad murderer, you know?
It's
Like,
like,
not that I want anybody to be a good murderer, but
no, but it's like, did you not pay attention in class? I mean, you
Yeah.
have
yeah.
a PhD, so I mean, really?
Yeah, like, dude, you're on the dean's list. You're so smart. Just, I'm blown away by like just everything. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He
I
interrupted
don't.
the female teacher to tell her how smart that
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
he's smarter than her. Boy, that's crazy.
I bet she wouldn't have parked in front of her house.
Yeah, she would have been smart enough to go somewhere else.
And don't back up. Just go forward and then
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
golly,
I
what
don't.
crazy.
I don't know. Like, I always had a feeling with him that this was something that was all consuming, probably most of his life,
Oh
which
yeah.
is,
yeah.
why he went into what he did. As a, his, into college and then
I
surrounding
totally
himself that
agree.
way.
Is
And
that
I
Chris?
think, yeah, that's me.
Oh, hi. I don't see the white rings around your picture.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not. I don't know if I'm loud or maybe I'm not loud enough.
I can hear you. I just don't see the
I
white
can
rings.
see him.
Yeah,
I can
keep
see him
going.
too.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. So, I think also, maybe he was um, burglarizing a lot of homes. He probably did when he was younger as well. So, just for the thrill of it. Um,
Yeah.
so I think it was just a matter of time with him when he was going to do it. And I think, when he finally got to the point that it just became all consuming and it was just such a frenzy. I don't think it was really thought out all that well, obviously, because we're driving and leaving behind a sheath, and then we know he washed up as well. So, and he looks really scared when he gets pulled over in the body cams too.
Oh, man.
I agree.
But yeah,
Ted
I think
Bundy. Sorry, go ahead.
no, it's okay. I was just saying that I think it was just so consuming, this desire and this want to do this so
I
much.
I totally agree with you
Amen.
on that. That I think that's why I have so much trouble with some of the stupid, obvious things. And I'm sorry I said stupid, but I'm sorry. You can. I'm not calling him stupid. I'm just saying that you can do stupid things, and it just it boggles my mind that some of these obvious things that we would even know not to do, he's doing. It
Yeah.
just it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think I was
Go
just going to say I think it's probably just due to the fact that we're not psychopaths.
That's true.
I
Yeah,
think that might have a lot to do with it.
yeah, I think
But
I think something happened to him between his junior and senior year. And I think he has been obsessed with this all this time. I totally agree with you, Krista. And that's why it's just not making sense to me that he's making all these silly mistakes.
yeah.
Unless he wanted to get caught.
Yeah, the more I think about it, I think he wanted to get caught just because, like, whew,
Yeah.
he knew what he had to do, and he didn't do, half of it.
He couldn't have made it easier on him. I mean, he made it pretty
Yeah,
easier, pretty easy, especially for a guy that's studied this for years.
yeah. I mean,
Now,
maybe it was like, oop, I'm sorry.
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe it's like, how people sometimes, like, I don't know, if you're gonna plan a wedding and you try to plan it out so perfect and everything just kind of falls apart. Maybe it was
Yeah.
one of those, like, like
Yeah.
he went to
True.
do it and just everything went wrong.
That's
For
a great
sure.
analogy.
that is great.
His,
Um,
his wedding was a failure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, rest in peace to Kaylee, Xana, Ethan, and
Oh, yeah.
Maddie, obviously, but
Yeah, it's
I
horrible.
think it could have been that too. Just his plan fell apart.
And
Well,
Yeah.
what I was going to say is I don't know much about serial killer or SKs, but I assume they're way more famous if they're caught rather than not getting
oh
caught.
yeah.
So I think he wants the fame or the infamous. So
Well,
Yeah.
I think ultimately he wanted to get caught.
well,
Yeah.
that's like BTK. he wanted, I mean, you can't tell me that man did not want to get caught. He made it pretty easy for him to be caught as well. And what good is it if you're a psychopath and you do these things and nobody knows it's you?
Mm.
Where are you going to lie in the annals of the infamous and the famous and the infamous of the 20th century? You know, I mean, they want their name out there.
Amen.
I agree on some aspects of that, and I actually had thought that at first. You know, I thought that he wanted the notoriety and to be famous for this. You know, all the studying he'd done, and you know, certain things that other SKs had done in the past, and like even Kemper had called the police on himself. But
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
this guy, okay, so this suspect,
This
he,
guy. Oh, that's fun.
so we know he went back to his position, you know, on Monday and had a very different outlook around, you know, people that he taught and different grading systems. That's because he was still riding that high of what he had finally accomplished and finally
Right.
done. But the thing is the fear that you see in his eyes when he gets pulled over, and not to mention having to wear a turtle suit in custody, you know, that's kind of telling me something else. And then waiving the extradition, like, yes, I'll just go right back to Idaho. And I don't know if he seems just terrified.
Well, Ted Bundy, he said that when they're committing the crimes and all of that, they're just basic. I'm just saying, I'm just paraphrasing. But
Right.
basically what he was saying is that when you're in there and you're doing that, you're not thinking about anything but what you're doing. But then afterwards, you are scared to death because you're trying to figure out, did I do anything wrong? Did I do this? Did I do that? But Liza also says in 20 minutes, he got out of the car, got into the house, locked a dog in a room, killed 4 people, get out of the house, get back in the car, and get in front of a camera by 4:20. I know, I find that hard to believe too. She says,
20 minutes. Oh, my
I
goodness.
don't believe those are mistakes. But yeah, that's a lot to do in that time frame.
And Liza, I'm certainly coming along. I mean, I think there's just too many topics for me personally to address all the topics. But I'm coming along to your opinion, Liza, that I would say most of those really are not mistakes. So I'm kind of along in your school of thought.
Oh, I agree with her.
So cool. Okay, back to reading. Oh, wait. Let me get the comment. I want to see B's, what's it called? Icon? Profile? What's it called?
Avatar.
Avatar. I want to see B's avatar. So, okay.
My little avatar.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have an avatar, hun?
No, I don't even know what that means.
Okay. Didn't you have one last night? You had a picture up there of yourself last night.
I had a picture?
I forget. Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah, B survived, because I remember saying
I think we said you looked very nice.
Oh. Oh, well, thank you. I didn't. Wow, I didn't realize I had my photo up there. I don't know how I can do that.
Did you log in from a different device?
No.
Okay,
No,
so
I'm on the
back
same
in the
device.
chat, back
Anyway.
in the chat where you see, if you like touch your little picture there, and it says edit audio avatar. Just touch your picture.
Is ready.
Okay.
And you don't have to show a picture.
How do I? Okay, hold the phone.
Edit audio. Is there one there for you to choose from? Because you had one on there last night.
Oh, I can. Okay. Wow, this is a new world to me. I'm seeing things, but I don't know what I'm seeing. It's gonna bring me to my photos, but I don't think I have a.
You had one last night.
Yeah. I don't know how I got that on there. I know that's the one that's just like automatically
Right.
in my
It's from your it's what you have in on your
Google, probably Google.
on my
on
Google
your
feed.
YouTube profile thing.
It could be Google. It's
There is
usually
a way to
Google.
change it. I'll have to like look into that or like upload that photo that I had on there so I can add it on here.
Yeah.
It's a really old photo, but
And you can do it while we're talking too. It's not going to mess you up talking. See,
I
this
just
is my forte because I worked in a cell phone business for 10 years. So I'm
oh,
really
you
good at
did?
talking people through things like this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get afraid to click on anything because I don't want to mess up anything. Just even in general, not just like in this StreamYard thing. Like
As long as you back out and you don't save, you can look at anything on your phone or a computer. Just don't save it and just back on out of it and you'll be fine.
But
wait,
be
what was that? I'm sorry, I missed that. What was that?
I said, if you can look at anything on your phone or a computer just by going in there, but you don't save it and you just back out of it, like shut the tab or whatever. As
Like
long
exit
as you
out of
don't
it?
save it, you're cool. You can look at almost anything.
Oh.
of
Yeah,
course.
I get nervous because I'm afraid of like bugs or whatever.
And B, I'm right there with you. Once I'm on a stream, I don't usually touch too many buttons, so
Yeah,
I'm
I get
I'm right there
scared.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be okay with her pictures though.
Yeah, I know I can get it to what I need to get it to. I'm just afraid to do it right now.
Right, because this is
I
the
already
only
dropped my
time you're
phone
going to
once. I
have.
mean,
This
I
is the only time you're going to be able to do it is when you're up here with us.
oh, well, what it says is because when I do the edit audio avatar, I can click on a plus, but it says select an image, and that image I had on there, it's just not in my photos right now because
wow.
it's a really old picture.
Or
But
you
I
can
can,
put another one.
You're welcome to pick a flower, or you can
Yeah,
pick
anything.
whatever you want.
I'm trying to see. It's only showing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my last screenshots.
How
So I
about
don't know.
dog? Is there a kitty cat?
I
There's
do somewhere. Yeah,
you should
it
be able to,
won't show me.
if you look up at the top, hun, it'll say, like
Images. Oops.
show you your folders of your pictures. Like, I forget what it says, like all pictures or just profile pictures or whatever. They'll have them categorized in it. So if you pick, you know, all of your pictures, then it'll take you to all of them and you could put your Maine Coon or whatever you want to on there.
I just put something on there. Come on, apply.
And you're still there, so you haven't kicked yourself off yet.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I don't want to like take up any of the time. I just changed it to a little purple thing for now.
Oh, there you go.
I
that's
gotta find
gorgeous.
pictures. I just got this phone recently, so I gotta get pictures from my other phone before I can.
Well, that one's pretty.
But I know what I'm doing now. Thank you. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
My
I am
pleasure.
so bad at these things.
Way to go, B. Now,
Thank you.
as you probably know, I like to split hairs and ask detailed questions and stuff. But
Yeah.
I thought you were saying just 24 hours ago that you had a really old phone. So are you saying today you have a new phone?
Yes. Well, okay. So I have my old phone that I use. I only use internet on it though. And then this phone that I have, it's newer and it's the one from Walmart that I have the Walmart service on. And so I can call people on it. Yeah.
Now, B, what you can do since you have two devices. This is what I do, okay? I have one phone, which is what you're on now, where you're
Yeah.
on panel. And then I take my other phone and I log into the YouTube channel that I want to be on.
Yeah.
And then go to the live chat button, and then you can see all of the chat while you're still in on panel.
You get
And
How
So
do you
you're
say?
using two different. You're using two different.
Yeah,
Two
tonight
different
I'm on one
phones.
phone, but I have that one inside charging. Yeah, and I use that one. It just connects to the Wi-Fi though.
Yeah,
Does that make
no,
a
as long
difference?
yeah, you should be able to pick up Joe's YouTube channel on it and just, do live chat like you normally do on the other device, and just that way you can see both.
Okay, now I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying. Yeah, because I can't see the chat. Well, I'm sure I could figure it out in here, but that I'd
No,
rather do
no,
that.
you
That's a better
can't.
idea.
Yeah, no, you can't see the chat in here.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
good
okay.
idea.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
What about seeing the chat? You can't see it
Yeah.
either, Krista?
Yeah, and then maybe being able to hear myself.
Okay, look
'Cause
at that
this is,
comment. There
Could you
should be a
see me?
comment pretty soon.
I mean, I can go to chat.
Can you
Comment.
hear me?
Hey, you see
Yeah.
that comment? See that comment?
Okay, see where it says comments? That you
Yeah.
can click on and it will show you
Oops.
the comments in the chat.
Right.
But you have to be careful because sometimes when you go back here, the mic doesn't work properly.
Oh, okay.
It is. Yeah. I'm live streaming right now. Talking to several hundred people. You want to talk to them? Okay, cool. Don't forget about Twitter. It says 6, but I have 200 over in Twitter.
Oof, that's so many people.
I don't have a Twitter.
And Facebook.
I don't have a Twitter either.
I never think about Facebook. And Facebook automatically sends it to Instagram. So all three of those have, during the entire stream, it's usually 2,000 to 3,000 people for all three of those. Twitter. But anyway, Lady B, do you see my comment?
I do.
It says Joe here on second device per Lady V. I have never done anything technical that quickly. I picked up my iPhone and did exactly what you just described. Can you believe I did that in a minute and a half or less? That was probably 45 seconds.
Well, yeah, I'm good, dude.
You're better at it than I am.
No,
Oh, that's
but
what I did for 10 years.
so B, you took a chance and you put up a purple picture, and I took a chance. We both took really big chances. So that's great.
That was the first
And now
picture
you
that
know
was
how to
in there.
see your comments and things in chat too while you're on.
What was that?
I said now he's able to see his comments in the chat while he's on StreamYard.
Oh, that's going to make everything so much better.
Oh, yeah.
But that's too many things to stare at. But yeah, I guess you are right.
I would go get my other phone, but it's in the bedroom. I don't want to wake up my husband.
Yeah, that's all right. You're doing great.
But that is a great idea. See, I would never think of something like that. I am so tech is not my strongest suit.
I think you're doing incredible.
Well,
Oh,
it was my
thanks, Joe.
pleasure.
I don't
my
think
pleasure to help you. Nobody
Yeah.
could
Thanks,
ever
Lady V. I
explain this to
appreciate
me.
that.
Amen. Okay. So Liza says, "Don't worry, we are all learning."
I like learning.
Amen.
too.
Oh no, I don't like learning, but
Oh, I do.
I occasionally take risks. Okay, I forget where we were.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's I'm going to be doing that all night. We're on page 7. Boy, we are flying through this thing.
Flying.
We will be done by sunrise. All of our sunrises, no matter what time zone you're in, we're going to be done by sunrise. Okay, not. I am not going to do 9 hours. I said I wasn't going to do 4 hours, but I guess I'm lying on that. So anyway, okay, suspect vehicle 1 can be, again, this is a repeat just because I want to refresh my memory. Suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a 4th time at approximately, it's a typo. They have a effing typo. Wow. The area of 4th time at approximately 4:04 a.m. It can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road, number 52, and then driving back westward on King Road. When suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road residence, it appears to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. The vehicle then continued to the intersection of Queen Road and King Road, where it can be seen completing a 3-point turn. He is an effing idiot. So seen completing a 3-point turn and then driving eastbound again down Queen Road. Suspect vehicle 1 is next seen departing. Let me get my cursor. I hate my mouse pad.
All I've got to say, if he had a getaway driver, they did a horrible job.
Getaway driver needs to be fired immediately.
Exactly. You don't drive all over the neighborhood, getaway person.
Oh my Lord.
Now, I don't know if you're serious or not, but I think this is obviously he did it by himself because
No, I wasn't serious. I was being
I
smart.
You're
just
right.
can't. He's just casing the place out. Just wow.
Waiting for him to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's like, let me drive all over your neighborhood and be picked up by all these cameras.
God, what an idiot.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So
So
where's the typo?
they say A instead of at.
Oh, okay.
He's seen entering the area a fourth time at.
Oh.
That second A is supposed to be
Oh,
at.
yep.
Can you believe that? I thought these things were supposed to be perfect.
Good
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah, that's my anality coming out. Did you get that word? Anality.
Mentality.
Otherwise known as OCD. Okay, so suspect vehicle 1 is next seen departing the area of the King Road residence at approximately 4:20. There is that 20 minutes Liza mentioned. At approximately 4:20 at a high rate of speed. Suspect vehicle 1 is next observed traveling southbound on Willenta Drive. Based on my knowledge of the area and review of camera footage in the neighborhood, that does not show suspect vehicle 1 during that time frame. I believe that suspect vehicle 1 likely exited the neighborhood at Palouse River Drive and Conestoga Drive. Palouse River Drive is at the south end of Moscow and proceeds into Whitman County, Washington. Eventually, the road leads to Pullman, Washington.
So now we've gone into what, 2 jurisdictions as well?
Oh man, he is screwed. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And 2 states. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 3 miles away. You know, I mean, they're
And
so
they
close.
tracked him. They were able to track him. Grizzly has a couple maps, and they were able actually to track him on other cameras as he drove through. And they said he even went back to the house, and people have speculated he went back to the house. Okay, but people speculated that maybe he went back to find that um, um,
Sheep.
sheath. Yeah. But but they have pictures of him here and there, all on this whole route.
Hmm.
Grizzly she did the maps already?
Well, she didn't do it. They have the maps. She's going to work on the maps because these were little bitty. You couldn't see
Okay.
them, but they were able to track basically from the time he left his apartment.
Yep.
And then when he got to their house, and then after he left their house, they were able to pretty much track him here and there all the way back, is my understanding.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Yeah, I can't wait to see those maps.
I can't
Yeah.
either. Grizzly's going to do an awesome job on him.
Yep. Yep. I agree. I like her stuff.
I thought he had gone back possibly to look for the sheath as well. So are they saying that he didn't?
No, people are just speculating why.
I don't think anybody would know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
and everybody's just kind of speculating it's because of the sheath.
Yeah.
Which
We
is
don't know
huge.
for certain.
Well, the other thing I was wondering if he had cased any other houses that night, or if he had just settled on that house and that was it.
No, he had actually stalked these people. Joe, you have a comment from Mucho Taco.
Mucho Taco. What's up, man? Or I don't know your gender, but what's up? I say man to everybody. What's up, man? So Mucho Taco says, I believe that Brian and his father left Pullman on December 13th between the hours of 1 a.m. and 9 a.m. to be caught on traffic cam in Loma, Colorado on the same day. That's wild. That's wild. Thanks, Mucho. So anyway, Liza, you, of course, I love all your comments. I'm not sure if anybody on this stream knows that I love maps and I obsess about maps, and I have hundreds of maps of all the states of the United States. I just love them. So, and it's weird because I'm cheap and I'm broke and stuff. And so I've never bought Google Maps or Google Earth or any of those, but I would go nuts. If I had those, I would be in that rabbit hole for about 15 hours each day. So I think that's why I don't buy it. So
But you don't have to buy Google Earth or Google Maps.
is it really free?
Yeah.
I would go nuts. So anyway, Eliza is saying, wait to do Google Maps. The names of many roads, streets, etc. are wrong, driving me crazy. Yeah, like I said, I printed this up and I printed up at the library, and all the picture pages, I printed them up and they were lousy, and I brought it up to the librarian and I said, hey, if you are a magician, could you make
That's
them
the
colored?
map.
That's one of the maps. Yeah, there's
Yes.
four. There's four of them. This is the anyway, I don't know what the map. Yeah, that's one of the four. But I asked the librarian to make it as clear as they could. Make it photo-like and make it color and make it clear, and I'll pay you whatever price. And he worked on it for like 45 minutes for four of them, and they didn't really improve much. But anyway, I would love to get a master one of these, like what Liza is talking about. I would love to print up, and I know the case is now, I should have done that 8 weeks ago instead of now. But even the cops, during the body cam of when they went to the house for the noise, the noise, whatever it's called, that people complained about noise, the cop called it Queen, and Kaylee, Madison agreed to Queen, but then when she stated her address, she said King. So, I mean, isn't that wild that the cop doesn't even know? I mean, I don't know who's right. I think it's King, but isn't that wild that the cop doesn't even know what address he's going to check on?
Yeah.
That's
I
weird.
thought that was really strange.
So, anyway, Liza, I don't know if you have PDFs of maps and you could send them to my Twitter. I know no one's on Twitter, so don't send me anything on Twitter. I get it. But yeah, I love maps. So Mucho, good to see you. So maybe I'll get back to reading. So we are about to get to the next page. Oh my golly. So Pullman, Washington is approximately 10 miles from Moscow, Idaho. Both Pullman and Moscow are small college towns, and people commonly travel back and forth between them. Law enforcement officers provided video footage of suspect vehicle 1 to forensic examiners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation that regularly utilize surveillance footage to identify the year, make. Oh, I don't like this paragraph at all. But anyway, that regularly utilize surveillance footage to identify the year, make, and model of an unknown vehicle that is observed by one or more cameras during the commission of a criminal offense. The forensic examiner has approximately 35 years. So he was so experienced, he screwed up. But anyway, the forensic examiner has approximately 35 years law enforcement experience with 12 years at the FBI. His specific training includes identifying unique characteristics of vehicles, and he uses a database that gives visual clues of vehicles across states to identify differences between vehicles. After reviewing the numerous observations of suspect vehicle 1, the forensic examiner initially believed that suspect vehicle 1 was a 2011-2013 Hyundai Elantra. Upon further review, he indicated it could also be a 2011-2016 Hyundai Elantra. With that expansion, it included the car that it ended up being, a 2015. As a result, investigators have been reviewing information on persons in possession of a vehicle that is a 2011-2016 white Hyundai Elantra. And my understanding, they never updated the years. They never told us that they were looking for 2011, 2016. How about y'all? What do you think?
Well, it made sense once they said it was 2015.
Right. They conveniently changed the years.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. That. Anyway, okay, I'll continue. Where's my cursor? Cursor, come back. Y'all know what a cursor is? You know what a DOS prompt is? Y'all know what a DOS prompt?
Yep.
Oh, I know you do, Lady V. I'm talking about everybody else.
What is a what?
A DOS prompt, DOS prompt, a DOS prompt.
Hmm.
Oh, come on,
Is
you're
it
not
anything
that
like
young.
a floppy disk?
Yeah, kind of the same era.
Oh,
It's-
really?
It's how you, I can't even describe what it is, but it's how you got into things. You would say, type something and then it would type it, or you'd say, open this and then it would open it. I don't know.
It's kind of like before we had apps.
Yeah.
We used to type in
The command.
the link that would take the command that would take us to what we wanted to see. And if you
Ooh.
didn't know how to type it in, then you were out of luck. You weren't going to get there.
Oh, I would
And
be
a-
out of luck.
And a DOS prompt, it's DOS, which is disk operating system. That's not right. I forget what, but anyway, that's Bill Gates. That's Microsoft. They were the original MS DOS, Microsoft DOS.
Old school technology.
Yes, yes.
Fun.
And for about 10 years, I mean, once they started having applications, I was like, no, give me a DOS prompt. I don't want to change, and people are like, you can just click on the picture. You don't have to just click on the picture and it opens. And I'm like, no, give me a DOS prompt. So anyway, it took me a while. Okay, enough about ancient history.
The good days.
Yo, boy,
Dial up.
back when a computer cost $2,700, and that was without a monitor. That was just the CPU by itself, $2,700. Oh my goodness. So, and it was 1/10 as fast as the slowest iPhone in the world. So, anyway, okay. Investigators were given access to video footage on the Washington. Is that where we are? Did I skip anything? Nope. That's the Elantra. Okay. Investigators were given access to video footage on the Washington State University, WSU, which I guess they say another word. What do they say? Wausau, or what do they call that campus?
Yeah.
Wazoo?
Wazoo.
Wazoo. That's it. Wazoo. I would much prefer saying WSU, but when in Rome, I'll say Wazoo. Wazoo. Okay. WSU campus. Can you tell I'm getting tired? It's time for me to get off of this stream. Washington State University, WSU campus located in Pullman, Washington. A review of that video indicated that at approximately 2:44 a.m. on November 13, 2022, a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of the white Elantra, known as Suspect Vehicle 1, was observed on WSU's surveillance cameras traveling north on Southeast Nevada Street at Northeast Stadium Way. At approximately 2:53, 9 minutes later, a.m., a white sedan, which is consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as Suspect Vehicle 1, was observed traveling southeast on Nevada Street in Pullman, Washington, towards State Route 270. State Route 270 connects Pullman, Washington to Moscow, Idaho. The camera footage from Pullman, Washington was provided to the same FBI forensic examiner. The forensic examiner identified the vehicle observed in Pullman, Washington as being a 2014 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. At approximately, our first picture. We're to our first picture. So at approximately 5:25 a.m., which, by the way, I'm kind of a text kind of guy, so I'm not sure how much. Anyway, we can look at the pictures if you want, but I'd rather just plow through them. But anyway, we can do whatever. At approximately 5:25 a.m., a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of Suspect Vehicle 1, was observed on 5 cameras in Pullman, Washington, and on Wazoo campus cameras. The first camera that recorded the white sedan was located at 1300 Johnson Road in Pullman. The white sedan was observed traveling northbound on Johnson Road. Johnson Road leads directly back to West Palouse River Drive in Moscow, which intersects with Conestoga Drive. And I'm sure those are the streets that drives Liza crazy because they're incorrect. But anyway, I can't wait to see that map. The white sedan was then observed turning north on Bishop Boulevard and northwest on State Route 270. At approximately 5:27 a.m., the white Elantra was observed on cameras traveling northbound on Stadium Way at Nevada Street, Stadium Way. Cameras traveling northbound on Stadium Way at Nevada Street, Stadium Way at Grimes Way, Stadium Drive at Wilson Road, and Stadium Way at Cougar Way. That's a lot of stadium drives. Depiction shows Moscow and Pullman. Any observations or comments about the picture?
I can't see anything.
Yeah, it's kind of dark.
Yeah. I think those blue things are certain things, but I think those white things.
Yeah, I think the blue dots are supposed to be him. But it's even hard to see those.
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting for somebody else to make a video or something, because it's to me it's really hard to. Yeah.
Amen.
We'll just wait for Mr. Grizzly. He'll fly us over in his simulated plane.
Yeah, he will, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I've never seen any of his stuff, but I heard what he did. It sounds very impressive.
Yeah, well, she's impressive too. You know, she used to be a pilot also.
I think she's fantastic. She's great.
She is.
But I've never seen Mr. But she talks about it. I mean, anyway, I've heard his drone work is phenomenal. So Liza says, yada, yada, paragraph, 5 years difference. I don't know if I said it in the right voice inflection, Liza. I hope I did. Yada, yada, paragraph. Okay. So we'll move. Depiction showing white Elantra's path of travel, not to scale. And the legend is the yellow triangles is the white Elantra seen leaving WSU campus. And the red triangles is white Elantra seen returning to WSU campus. And then there's a yellow rectangle, and that's blacked out, so I don't know what that means. And then it says arrows are camera locations and indicate vehicle direction of travel. That's a busy map with all that stuff. Any comments on that map?
It looks like gobbledygook.
Yeah. It's
pretty
hard to
much.
make out.
Amen. Amen. Okay, good. Well, good. I'm glad we can pass over them. I still need my cursor. Where's my cursor? On November 25th, 2022, Moscow Police Department asked area law enforcement agencies to be on the lookout for white Hyundai Elantras in the area. On November 29th, 2022, at approximately 12:28 a.m., Washington State University, WSU, police officer Daniel Tiengo, queried white Elantras registered at WSU. As a result of that query, he located a 2015 white Elantra with a Pennsylvania license plate, whatever. This vehicle, I don't believe my first copy of this had any redaction. I could have sworn this is the wrong page for me. Mine did not have this redaction. This vehicle was registered to Brian Kohlberger, hereafter Kohlberger residing at. Yep, mine, that was not redacted. Is approximately 3/4 of a mile from the intersection of Stadium Way and Cougar Way, last camera location that picked up the white Elantra. That same day at approximately 12:58, which is just a few minutes later, I think 25 minutes or, I'm sorry, I'm going to get the minutes. So 12:28, so 30 minutes later, that same day at approximately 12:58, which is 30 minutes later, WSU officer Curtis Whitman was looking for white Hyundai Elantras and located a 2015 white Hyundai Elantra at, mine wasn't redacted, in Pullman in the parking lot. Redacted, an apartment complex that houses WSU students. Oh my goodness, we're on page 11. Officer Whitman also ran the car, and it returned to Kohlberger with a Washington tag. I reviewed Coleman's Washington State driver's license information and photograph. This license indicates that Kohlberger is a white male with a height of 6 feet and weighs 185 pounds. Additionally, the photograph of Kohlberger shows that he has bushy eyebrows. Way to go, Dylan. Yeah, Dylan. Kohlberger's physical description is consistent with the description of the male Dylan saw inside the King Road residence on November 13th. Yes. No one cheers for Dylan, but I'm going to cheer for her for that. Further, and we can stop anytime y'all want. If anybody wants comments or anything.
I was just gonna say I like Dylan.
I like Dylan too. I've been advocating for her from day one.
So have I.
So Pablo, yeah, you don't need to share so much information. I know sometimes. Anyway, I know I'm in recovery. I'm not active, but I'm a recovering alcoholic addict. I have learned a lot of things. I've learned love and tolerance, and sometimes I'm good at it, and sometimes I'm not. So I'm gonna just boot Pablo. I don't think that's okay to make those kind of comments, and that's just me. I know some people think those are fine, but I'm gonna boot him. Block user.
Agreed.
Bye, Pablo. So sorry about that, guys. If it offended you, or if it didn't offend you, or whatever.
I didn't see it.
Okay, good.
It
So
didn't offend me, but bye,
it was
Pablo.
it was minor. It was minor, but I'm a pretty uptight person. So so lady said, "Be right back." Okay, lady, I didn't see that. So lady said, "Be right back," which was
Yeah.
3 minutes ago. She's probably back. I just heard her. Hi.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you. That's why I didn't say anything, but I was wanting to know what you wanted me to do with that comment too.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks. Yeah, and you probably have an idea of how uptight I am, but I think people can keep those things to themselves. So,
Yeah.
Liza, my copy do not have those redactions. Yeah, isn't that weird how some of them do and some of them don't? And then that description with the bushy eyebrows, isn't that cool? Way to go, Dylan. Woohoo! I think that she's referring to the bushy eyebrows. Okay. Maybe I'll get back to it. So I'm off screen right now, and I'll look for my cursor. It seems like I'm always at the top of the page. Am I really there? Okay. Further investigations, including a review of Latah County Sheriff's Deputy Corporal Duke's body cam and reports, showed that on August 21st, 2022, Brian Kohlberger was detained as part of a traffic stop that occurred in Moscow, Idaho, by Corporal Duke. At that time, Kohlberger, who was the sole occupant, was driving a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania plate, blah, 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 which was sent to expire on November 30th. During the stop, which was recorded via a law enforcement body camera, Kohlberger provided his phone number as 8458, hereafter the 8458 phone number, as his cellular telephone number. Investigators conducted electronic database queries and learned that the 8458 phone is a number issued by AT&T. I bet it's real easy to figure out what the first 3 digits are, but I'm not going to do that. But I bet it's easy. On October 14, 2022, Brian Kohlberger was detained as, when's this? October 14th. Okay. On October 14, 2022, Brian Kohlberger was detained as part of a traffic stop by a WSU police officer. Upon review of that body cam and report of the stop, Kohlberger was the sole occupant, was driving a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania plate, blah, 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 blah. On November 18, 2022, according to Washington State Licensing, Kohlberger registered the 2015 white Elantra with Washington and later received Washington plate, blah, 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 blah. Prior to this time, the 2015 white Elantra was registered in Pennsylvania, which does not require a front license plate to be displayed. This was learned through communications with a Pennsylvania officer who is currently certified in the state of Pennsylvania. Based upon, and I might get to the end of this one paragraph and take a break. So based on my own experience and communications with Washington law enforcement, I know that Idaho and Washington require front and back license plates to be displayed. So I'm going to come back on screen and Liza is apologizing for something. Liza, you never have to apologize. So that description, and then it says has. Sorry, your copy does have those redactions. Maybe I read it wrong. No, okay, you're correct. So, yeah, okay. Let me just peek. I just want to peek. Blue. There's his address. It's right there. It's not redacted. Don't take a screenshot. Don't take a screenshot. It's right there. So it's not redacted. And I'm not
taking a screenshot of that.
Anyway, I'm not saying, can you tell I want to get off? Yeah, I want to. What are we at? 3:29.
Hurry up and read it then.
What?
I said, then hurry up and read it then.
But we all want to talk. I took a pause. I took a pause because it's page 12 out of 19, which we could almost do that another night. So that's why I took the pause. So I don't know.
I was wondering if that's what you were doing too.
Yeah, that's why I was taking a pause there. So I'm not good at just finishing my stream. And I'm not good at just making that decision as, the king of the stream. I decide that we're ending. But I know it's my stream, so I can do that. But but anyway, it's kind of weird because, we're doing stuff. And so anyway, so Liza, that means he didn't change the license plates. The plates were due for renewal anyway.
Right.
But
because everybody was suspecting that maybe he changed the license plate to Washington to throw him off, but he didn't because they were just due for renewal anyway, and he was in Washington, so I had to get him renewed there.
Yeah, it was just like convenient.
Right.
That it happened like then.
Now, my experience, and y'all already know that I have intimate experiences with the law enforcement people, but I have had expired everything: license plate, license, driver's license, tags, titles. I've been expired forever. So I still think that was convenient for him to do that. I think he wanted a different state's license on his car. So, he could have waited 5 months, especially with COVID. With COVID, all those, expiration dates, they're ignored. They just say, oh, okay, I'll give you 3 more months. Just get it in the next 3 months because of COVID. So,
and I would agree with you.
I
he
think
wanted those plates changed to a different state. I totally agree.
So I think he wanted them. But again, now these plates, he has to have a front and a back, which I don't get it. I know I've gotten on my soapbox before, but if I was king of the United States, I would make every single state require front and back licenses for this reason. I think criminals do not have the right to drive a car with just back license plates. No way. But that's me.
No, I agree.
I don't know. I've lived in 2 states where no front plate was needed.
Wow.
Do you know why?
No.
I don't know why. Do you know why they do that?
Oh, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea.
I think I've known throughout my life, but I think I've forgotten. I think it was budgetary at first. Although, inmates normally, 40 years ago, inmates made all license plates. So they're probably not super expensive. But anyway, yeah, I don't, but I think the number is huge. I'm a numbers guy, and I think, and I'm just guessing, I'm just blindly guessing, but I think 20 something states require 2 license plates and 20 something states don't require it. So that's a huge number.
Yeah, that's just weird to me. I just don't understand what the difference is.
Yeah, but
I can
Pennsylvania was one of them. So he
I can
drove
find
around.
out. I can find out. Give me a sec.
Cool, man. So, Krista, B, how y'all doing?
Good.
I'm good. I'm nervous. I don't want anybody in the comments like I don't know what happened in the comments, and so I have anxiety from that.
Do you? What about them making comments toward you?
Who was I don't know who it was toward.
I didn't see anything that was out of place.
Like a few minutes ago when you booted whoever out.
Oh,
Oh,
Pablo? Oh
he
no, it wasn't about us.
he was talking about bodily functions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
don't like bathroom humor. I just don't. That's a
Yeah, that
private
could have been
thing.
said
That's a
in a
private
different.
thing.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
sitting there having
that
like
could have.
anxiety. I thought he was saying like bad things about I don't know, maybe people up here. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Krista,
No.
I'm
This is why
sorry.
I say I'm a freak. I worry about everything.
I should have explained that a little better, but it was only bodily functions.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You
why I got
guys want to know why you don't have to have front plates anymore?
Why?
yeah.
Why?
Okay. It says opponents of front plates contend that they cost the state money and they have to store them and they have to do all of these things. And because the newer cars do not have a place to put front plates.
Really?
Hmm.
Well, that's interesting.
And so they think it looks cosmetically better without them.
Oh, that's BS.
Oh.
But I believe your research, so thank you. But anyway, yeah, that's fine. All
But
that's the cool thing about the United States. All 50 states and 51, including the District of Columbia, but all 51 of them can make their own decisions and be independent. So, yeah, they can decide one for sure.
yeah, the state I live in now requires, two, but I only have one because my car isn't equipped to be able to put the front plate on. So I
Really?
just I never got around to it.
Is
Not
it
that it's a
in your front windshield?
I tried to do that and it just kept sliding and I was kind of afraid that it might like decapitate my passenger.
Oh golly, we don't want that, especially a little
No.
kitty cat or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh golly.
No, it's in my car. I would
Well,
have to get it, professionally mounted onto the front of my car because of, where I previously lived where they didn't require a front plate.
right. Well,
Yeah.
I rest assured, I can guarantee you that when you get stopped by the cop, if you just let them know that you didn't want to decapitate someone, they would say, "Oh, that's fine. It doesn't have to be on your car then." So I'm sure they'll think that's okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, so far so good. I mean, they have not gotten pulled over for it.
Oh, it's a monthly event for me, but that's all right. I do stuff. Okay, so I don't really have a smooth way to do a goodbye or an ending, but it is getting to 3.5 hours. It is almost 3 a.m. where I live. And so I think I'm going to end the stream. Um, Prior to 9 weeks ago, before the Idaho 4, I would take about 49 minutes or 50 minutes to say goodbye. I don't do that anymore here, but I still usually take about 13 or 14 minutes. I probably won't do that tonight. It will probably be rather brief. I mostly would like to thank the panel. Thank you very much, Krista. Thank you very much, Lady B. Thank you very much, B. You all are always invited anytime. Thank you to the the mods. I'm not sure if I have any or many. I guess I have Lady B. I might have more. I'm sorry, I can't see the blue wrenches. I don't mean to
No, I
offend you.
don't. I think I'm the only one.
Okay, so thank you, mods. Thank you, Lady B, and you're the guest host, and you're the superstar of many hats in this stream. So,
Oh, no, you are. I'm just here to help you out. But
oh,
I can help you out real quick here by saying thank you for having me on panel. I've enjoyed it. ladies, I've always enjoyed talking to you, and everybody have a safe day and be blessed today. And I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you, Lady V.
Bye,
Have a
Lady
good
V.
night.
And so, Krista, I wanted to specifically mention you. By the way, I think you were there. Was that last night when B, you were on the panel? But anyway,
Yeah.
last night B was kind of a special guest because she didn't normally come up. And so I feel the same way about you, Krista, and I'm sorry we didn't really focus on you, but I feel blessed and honored that you did come up here for the first time ever. So thank you very much for coming up, Krista.
Thank you. Well, thank you for, having me come up.
And
Yeah, same, Joe.
anytime.
Thank you for having me too.
You're welcome, B. You two are always invited.
Thank you.
And I know y'all are probably going to be a little timid with that, so I'll probably invite you every time, but you are always invited.
Well, thank you. And
Yeah.
I'll definitely be back and
I will too.
give this a try again.
Cool.
Probably tomorrow.
Well, hopefully
I'll try to be on time.
Well,
Yes.
hopefully I'll sleep more. Hopefully I won't wake up at 3 in the afternoon. And hopefully, how can I undersleep and wake up at 3 p.m.? That's a messed up day. But anyway, hopefully we'll sleep more, wake up sooner than 3, and I'll schedule it properly so that there will be notifications. Someday I believe to this point with 24 streams, I don't believe I've ever gotten notifications because I've always messed them up. So anyway, hopefully tomorrow or, whenever I go next, but probably tomorrow. So Lady V says, missed you, Liza. Yeah, Liza, we did.
Oh,
miss
yeah,
you.
Liza.
She's a rock star. And Nightbot, thank you for working tonight. You didn't work last night, but I appreciate you working. It was all testing. Ignore all those Nightbots. I'm not, throw money if you're a billionaire, but don't worry about anything else if you're not. So anyway, I'm just testing Nightbot. I'm glad it worked tonight. So,
all right. Well, good night, Krista, and good night, Joe. Thank you so much for having me again. I'll watch out for tomorrow and see you next time you're on.
thank you, B Survivor. See you later.
And bye, Lady V, and bye, Liza.
Cool.
Have a
So-
good night.
So, Krista, is there anything you wanted to finish with, or anything you wanted to just you can have the floor for a minute or two if there's anything you wanted to say as a goodbye.
Not really anything I can think of.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get over this whole not being able to hear myself. It's a little, kind
Right.
of odd. But thank you for having me up and patiently listening to my theories. And I really like hearing yours and everyone else's. And it was a really good night.
Well, you're welcome, and I feel blessed and honored that you came up here when you're, scared or intimidated or whatever it was. So I'm glad. Thank you for coming up. So
Well, thank you for having me, and have a great night.
okay.
And good night to everyone here. And I'll
Okay.
see you tomorrow, maybe, if you come on.
See you, Krista. Yeah, we can always count on it. So thank you, Krista. See you later.
Okay. Bye.
So anyway, I guess that's it. 3 hours, 42 minutes, and 27 seconds is a long time. I promised Lady V, and I think she promised me that I would not talk for 4 hours. I mean, it's not her, anyway, we both said we won't do 9 ever again. And I don't think we'll do 4 ever again. But anyway, here I am getting really close to 4. As always, I usually stream to 6 streams tonight. LinkedIn didn't work because I scheduled it a day in advance. So that didn't work. So anyway, hello and thank you. And I appreciate y'all watching from Facebook profile. Facebook. Good night, Liza. Thank you for coming. You're a rock star, as everyone is. But I love your stuff, Liza. So thank you, Facebook profile, Facebook page. YouTube, you're the foundation. Thank you so much. Twitch, I have no idea what to do with you. Some person said they would help me 3 or 4 days ago, and she followed me, and I followed her, and now I can't find her. I don't even know how to go look for my followers and followings over in Twitch. I don't understand Twitch, but I've streamed there about 20 times, only because of StreamYard. And then Twitter. currently my biggest stream. So thank you, Twitter. I apologize you can't make comments. I would love it if you could make comments. I hope someday you can. I'm testing for a month. I might test for 2 months. But Twitter, I'm thinking because y'all can't comment, that might be my biggest hurdle to get over to continue on StreamYard for sure. So anyway, everybody, thank you very much. Good luck with this. Read the get the, anyway, I did show you all that, right? I mean, if Liza's copy is redacted, man, how the hell did I get an unredacted copy? I mean, except for the an entire page. We didn't talk about page 19. I wanted to talk about page 19, but supposedly there is an entire page redacted. So I don't know where that is and what it's about. I thought that was going to be the main thing I was going to talk about. I didn't even bring it up. So anyway, so Liza, good night to all. Good night, Liza. In Pennsylvania, haven't required front license plate since 1952. Man, that is a long time. Okay, guys, my numbers just jumped up too. Sorry, guys, I'm leaving. But it's good having y'all. It's good seeing y'all. And anyway, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. I'm gonna go talk to my cat. I'm gonna cuddle. Whew, this has been a tough couple days. And I'm still in Pennsylvania. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with Idaho, and I have to send some more emails out to people to see if they want to be my angel or anything like that. So anyway, I'm working on it. I'll let everybody know. Once I hit 800, I'm going to stop fundraising. I'm not trying to raise money to get double paid. Once I hit 800, I'm going to stop it. And anything in excessive than that, I can return it. I just want 800. I just want the gas. If you want to say you can keep it, Joe, you don't have to return it, then I'll do that. But anyway, I hope I hit 800 and I can go out to Idaho. But every day, it becomes less important to go out to Idaho. But I hope I can get out there. Anyway, that was my 12 to 14 minute goodbye. I think I did pretty well. So JoeHart from Vermont. By the way, I'm going to end broadcast. I have to hit that button twice, and then I'm going to check whatever it's called, check the 5 streams that I went to. So the comment area will be open for an extended period, probably 10, 15, 20 minutes while I check the other destinations. So anyway, here it is. End broadcast number 1, and then end broadcast number 2. 3, 2, 1.